Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We're here every day live from 6 until 9 a.m. Eastern.
Call 954-939-1500.
This is our top of the hour break.
939-1500 to start saving money now.
We are chatting today with Frank, the owner.
Good morning, good morning. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. If you love Trump, you're going to love this show. This is the most pro Donald Trump radio show anywhere in the world.
West side of Federal Highway.
If you don't love Trump, subscribe anyway. Hey Neil, how you doing? Hey Linda.
West of A1A in Lauderdale by the sea. How many years have you owned this business?
Goodness.
I've been in the hardware business for over 40 years, Steve.
If I have a home project that I'm doing, there are so many around the house, that's the big thing today. What's the difference of my experience if I go to Ace Hardware as opposed to these major impersonal chain stores?
Hey Terry, good morning.
The basic difference is customer
It's
service.
Wednesday.
We're an old-time fashion hardware store.
Wednesday. I'm getting my third or fourth haircut since the shutdown today. I'm all excited.
They're very experienced. They know their business. When you're doing a project, you can come into the store and you can get somebody that knows what they're doing, somebody that will like to work with you. They'll find you the right project, the right pieces, the first time, so you can get in and out with the right material.
There are lots of Ace Hardware stores, but there are only two that are advertising with the Steve Kane Show. We're talking about the Deerfield location, a quarter of a mile
Stock
south
up on
of
what?
Hillsborough Boulevard, on the west side of Federal, and of course the Beach Ace Hardware located at 232 Commercial Boulevard, a half block west of A1A in Lauderdale by the sea. Very, very special locations. Be sure to mention Steve Kane sent you.
The Steve Kane Show is
I'm not getting the top cut, just the sides. Get a little poofy.
Avoid probate with a revocable living trust. $350 for single people, $450 for married couples. When you complete your trust with attorney Barry Siegel, he will give you a $100 gift certificate to Tavolino Italian Restaurant in Coral Springs. The Siegel Law Group has offices throughout Broward, Palm Beach, and Dade County. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve. Dial 1.
Really? Wow.
Go Kane 1. That's 1.
Maybe to loosen up some of that oil in Anwar.
And now.
Alrighty, welcome everyone. 5 minutes after 6 o'clock in the morning. It's Wednesday, July 22nd, 2020. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. We are live in the mornings from 6 until 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Overnight rebroadcast 7 nights a week, midnight until 6 a.m. We broadcast on the radio on 103.9 FM, 96.9 FM, 95.3 FM, and AM 1470. You can also listen to us on the iHeart Radio app and the TuneIn app, searching for us by our station call letters WWNN, and watch us live stream on video each and every morning on YouTube. Just search Brian Craig on YouTube. That's Brian Craig on YouTube. All right, so much going on. We've got a bit of a mystery, which I'm going to ask you all to help me solve. And this is, what did the Al Jazeera reporter really say to Kayleigh McEnany, the White House press reporter, yesterday? I'll play the exchange in a few minutes, and I will ask you all to tell me what you hear. I know what I hear, and what I hear was what was originally reported, but we'll get to that in a little bit. And I know these press conferences are amazing, and I did enjoy our president yesterday, the great press conference. You know, Juanita Broaddrick. You guys know Juanita Broaddrick? She was the woman who was raped twice by Bill Clinton. And I know a lot of you say, well, how could she have been raped twice? She was raped, he arrested, and when he could perform again, did it again. Juanita Broaddrick. And she's a very good person. I had her on my podcast as a guest. And Juanita Broaddrick is such a sweet lady. She sends me birthday greetings and stuff. She's very nice. And Juanita Broaddrick, you know, the president was talking about masks yesterday and how he does wear masks in certain situations. He was like pro-mask yesterday, right? And Juanita Broderick, she tweeted out yesterday, listen to this, the woman who was twice raped by President Clinton, she tweeted this: since our president is supporting and wearing a mask, I'm counting the days until Dems say masks don't work. Isn't that so true? We're going to start to hear the dangers of the mask. That's probably, Trump is probably trolling all of them. That's probably why he's promoting masks now, just to do kind of a test to see what they'll do. And I think Juanita Broderick is right on the money. And then Andrew Cuomo, he's Fredo's brother, governor of New York. He tweeted, if a hospital worker can wear a mask nonstop during a 10-hour shift, if women can wear masks during labor, I guess that means giving birth to a child, you can wear a mask while running an errand. Okay. There are a couple of things that are going on right now in our society that we are going to be paying for big time in the future. One is the mask. I was at Target yesterday. And I was shopping at Target. My wife sent me out to Target with a list. Isn't that what your husband's out there? You get the list. You got to go out and do it. And I got to tell you, I got a sneeze coming on because of the air conditioner. And every time you sneeze now, it's like you're a plague carrier. I fight so hard not to sneeze. But anyway, I'm at Target yesterday where you've got to wear a mask, right? It's mandated in the community. It's mandated at Target. You've got to wear a mask. Now, if you're a man, you can go in the ladies' room and use the men's room. You don't have to use the men's room. You can go in the ladies' room and go to the bathroom, but you got to wear a mask. I tell you, isn't that nice? And my wife wanted me to buy her something, so I FaceTimed her so she could, do the selection. And I'm talking to my wife on FaceTime, showing her some things to make sure I get the right thing. I don't want to go home with the wrong thing because I'll have to go back and return it and get the right thing. And I had the mask on, and I just said, screw it. And I ripped the mask off, and I said to my wife, and I said, I was really upset because I was having a hard time breathing. I said, I just cannot wear, yes, I use the F word, this effing mask anymore. I was that upset, and I ripped it off. And then I started looking over my shoulders to see, and, some of these people are a little paranoid. So I'm looking over my shoulder to see if I got in trouble. And then after I was breathing for a while, I kept it off while I was distanced from people. I didn't want to hear any crap. And then I continued my shopping, and I went over, this was at Target yesterday, I went over to the grocery section, and I put my mask on when I was over there because there's women going up and down the aisles. And you're not supposed to be walking by people on the aisles, right? So only supposed to be, all the aisles are one way now, all this crap, it's so stupid, so ridiculous. I get so frustrated when I go to the grocery store with the one-way aisles at Publix. It drives me nuts. We've been ordering our groceries from that, what's that company that delivers the groceries? Because I go to the grocery store, I go to Publix, and the one-way aisles, it takes me like 2 times as long to go shop. I get very frustrated, so we're doing the delivery. But anyway, which saves us money because you don't do any impulse buying. But so I'm shopping in the grocery section now at Target. I have my mask on because you got all these people walking around, and I walked on an aisle. I was looking at the coffee, and a woman was there with her child. And she says, "Excuse me." Like, well, excuse me. I can't walk on the aisle because she's there with her kid. She didn't want me on the aisle. Can you imagine? She wants to have her own aisle. Yeah, some of these things are just getting ridiculous. I must tell you. And so Andrew Cuomo. I love how Governor Cuomo is now telling us what to do during coronavirus when he has the 9/11 times 10 up there in deaths, and what he did to the nursing homes and everything else, plus the crime wave that's going on. Tony Robbins says that If you want to be successful at something, find someone who is successful at what you want to be successful at, and then model yourself after them, right? You know, be a copycat. So, but what they're doing now on the left, and Cuomo, they want us to look at a man who's a complete failure. That's Governor Cuomo, and model everything we do after a man who's completely failed. But while they tell us he's the model gold standard for what to do, he's the model gold standard for what to do if you want things to spread and you want senior citizens to die in nursing homes from COVID. But, you know, this is just, you know, things are getting out of control. But the mask thing is very difficult. It's very difficult because, you know what? You know why it's so difficult here? It's I know it's hot all over America, but in Florida we have the humidity, and that humidity on top of the heat, and having my mouth and nose covered up all the time it's just rough. And I'm going to Walt Disney World this weekend with my daughter, and they are so strict on mask enforcement at Walt Disney World. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm really not. And you know, when I went up there a couple weeks ago, I left I was at the park 3.5 hours, and I left because I couldn't handle the heat with the mask and the humidity. It was just too much. I was like, enough. I couldn't handle it. I had to get out of the park so I could breathe. You know, I can't breathe. Maybe I'll get a t-shirt that says that, but people won't know what I'm talking about. They'll think I'm talking about something else. But am I the only one that's, it's not I'm not into it. I'm not talking about it from a civil rights perspective or a loss of freedom perspective. You know, there's that issue, but I'm not, what's bugging me more than that right now is it's difficult for me to breathe if I have to wear it for more than a couple of minutes because of the heat and humidity that's going on. If this was the winter time, it wouldn't be so bad. Oh, keep my face warm. But it's becoming very, very difficult. Oh man, I tell you, our number 1-888-GO-CANE1. We have a guest coming up in the next hour, about an hour from now, that you will not want to miss. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but you will not want to miss the guest that we have coming up in an hour on the program. Oh man, it's going to be a very interesting discussion we have. You will not want to miss this. I promise you that's in the next hour. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE1, 888-465-2631. Now, I do know for a fact that because of the numbers in Florida, which our Governor DeSantis is having someone look into it. He's having an investigation done into people getting positive results at these state testing facilities who have never been tested. Remember, we got a couple calls just a couple days ago here on the program of people who have tested positive who never had a test done. Isn't that amazing? Is that absolutely amazing? And one woman called. She had some family members show up. They got in line. They filled out the paperwork in their car at one of these government testing sites, and then they just got tired of waiting, couldn't wait. They left. And a few days later, they got a notice that they had a positive result. They did not have the test. They just filled out the intake paperwork, waited in line, gave up, left, and they got a positive result. Isn't that absolutely crazy? Yeah, we had 2 calls who told us that just a couple days ago. Well, the Governor, DeSantis, is looking into that. He's having people look into this. I hope he doesn't have people looking into it that are involved in the testing process. He needs to have someone that he can trust, that we can trust, to go and look at that, because they'll continue that cover-up. But anyway, because of the numbers in Florida, whether or not they're legit or not, it is becoming impossible to find the supplies you need. The hand sanitizer, the Lysol in particular. And I use a lot of Lysol because I spray down the studio and the microphones here, even though we're the only ones who use this studio during the week. It's used by someone over the weekend for one program. I'd Lysol everything down and everything. So Lysol's in very short supply. Ace Hardware Deerfield and Beach Ace Hardware, they have all of those supplies you're looking for, okay? Including Lysol, Deerfield, Ace Hardware, and Beach Ace Hardware. So make sure you guys stop in there for all of your emergency supplies. And I'll tell you another thing they have at Ace Hardware. They have very good, this is very important because it's hurricane season. I'm seeing storms on. I was watching the local news today, and there's storms. They've got tracks. They've got everything coming. Ace Hardware Deerfield and Beach Ace Hardware have incredible deals and an incredible selection of generators. And I have a generator. It is a must-have during hurricane season, even if it's just for the security. You never know, you know. And that generator that I have has really when the hurricanes are coming, you do all your prep and everything. Having that generator, it's an extra added sense of security because you don't lose air conditioning. You can have air conditioning. You can have refrigeration, you know, which is nice. You can also have electricity and radio and televisions and everything else. So, you know, for your hurricane supplies, stop by Deerfield HR Hardware and Beach Ace Hardware. They have all of your hurricane supplies, including an incredible selection of generators. Very good quality generators at great prices. And I'm telling you that a generator, and they have generators of various sizes. You can find one that fits your needs. I have a pretty large one, you know, because I have a portable air conditioner and also a wall unit air conditioner. In case the AC goes out, the main AC, I don't mess around, man. I'm not going to be without AC. So anyway, Beach Ace Hardware, Deerfield Ace Hardware. There's lots of Ace Hardwares around. Those are the two locations that are advertising on the Steve Kane Show. Go there for all of your sanitation supplies during COVID, including Lysol, and your hurricane prep supplies, including generators. We'll be right back.
We are chatting today with Frank, the owner of two magnificent Ace Hardware stores. One, Deerfield Beach, 365 South Federal Highway, about a quarter of a mile south of Hillsborough on the west side of Federal Highway. And the other, Beach
yellow.
Ace
I'm not a big
Hardware
fan of yellow.
232
I mean,
Commercial
this
Boulevard,
is a
Havelock,
YouTuber I watch,
A1A,
Rick
in
Flicks.
Lauderdale by the sea. Well,
He,
one of the things I noticed when
look
I
up
first walked
Rick's,
into Ace
R-I-X
Hardware is
Flicks
that you
on
carry
YouTube.
Such a wide variety
But
of
I don't mind this shirt.
all under one roof. It's astounding.
That's Ace's new practice. It's called Best Brands. And under one roof, we have major categories. Let me give you an example of two. Yeti coolers, Craftsman hand tools, Milwaukee hand tools, Steel power equipment, Benmore paint, Weber grills, Napoleon grills, Traeger grills, Big Green Egg. We are a platinum dealer. We have the largest selection of Green Egg products.
I have a couple yellow shirts. I wear them on occasion just to mix it up.
There are lots of Ace Hardware stores, but there are only two that are advertising with the Steve Kane Show. We're talking about the Deerfield location, a quarter of a mile south of Hillsborough Boulevard on the west side of Federal, and of course the Beach Ace Hardware located at
I saw it, Sarah. I liked your
Commercial
picture on
Boulevard,
Instagram,
a
Sarah, with the
half-block
shirt.
west of A1A in Lauderdale by the sea. Very, very special locations. Be sure to mention Steve Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. All right, so we got a bit of a mystery here we're going to get to with Kaylee McEnany in the press briefing yesterday. In just a minute. You know, my wife and I, we got a treadmill this week. And we got a treadmill because my wife's doctor wanted her to have a treadmill to do some exercising and some walking, because my wife hasn't left the house since February or March, whenever this all started. And yeah, I know. So we got this and by the way, we had to wait for weeks to get a treadmills are in short supply these days. Let me tell you something. So we got the treadmill, and you know, for therapeutic reasons for my wife. And I thought, you know what, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do this treadmill thing. So I went on YouTube and looked for, you know, what was trending so far as treadmill workouts. So, you know, let me try something. And I found this one. I'm not sure what the whole name of this YouTuber is, but everybody all over YouTube does this challenge. Is it Lauren Giraldo or a challenge or something like this? And I thought I would do this, and they call it the 12... She's a very popular YouTuber. She's sponsored by Target, and all these people do this. I think it's Lauren Giraldo. I may be wrong on the name, or close. It's something like that. Challenge. The 12, 3, 30, treadmill challenge, and this is the challenge. Okay, the 12 is the incline. So you put the incline on 12, you put the speed of the treadmill on 3, and then you do it for 30 minutes. That's it. 12, 3, 30, and you do it for 30 days. Oh my gosh, forget about it. I get 10 minutes and I was dying. I was on the treadmill. My wife was standing next to me just in case I fell. I mean, I can't. Well, I'll build up to it, but they're in short supply. You know what else is in short supply? Tennis shoes. Oh my goodness. You can't buy tennis shoes today because everyone's doing all this exercise and stuff. But I'm gonna do this, John. The 12-3-30 Lauren Giraldo treadmill YouTuber challenge. I'm gonna do it, but I didn't think it'd be that difficult. I thought, no big deal. 30 minutes. It's nothing. And after about 90 seconds, I was dying, but I don't know. All right, anyway, back to the topics at hand. So, yesterday, there was an exchange between White House Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany and the White House reporter for Al Jazeera. Oh, go on YouTube and search for Kayleigh McEnany's wedding video. She got married in Miami not that long ago, just a couple years ago, and she has this very professional video of her wedding to her baseball-playing husband. It's a pretty good video. And so anyway, she had this exchange between the Al Jazeera White House reporter, and there's a lot of discussion as to what the Al Jazeera reporter said to her. So I'm going to play this for you, and you tell me what you hear. And then after I play it and you listen for what you hear, I'll tell you what is being reported. And then I'll play it again. Okay? And then they have an excuse, something that they're claiming she said something else. I'll tell you what that is after you listen to it like the third time. Because I want you all to help me decipher what you think the Al Jazeera reporter said to Kayleigh McEnany. Now, I'll tell you this. This was blowing up the news yesterday. It was all over the place. But what I thought was most newsworthy about it is, why is the One America News White House reporter standing at the back of the room, doesn't get a chair, but Al Jazeera gets a chair? Al Jazeera's got a reporter, they get a chair. But One American News, they've got to stand in the back of the room. They can't even get a chair. And, none of these guys in the White House press pool are even gentlemanly enough to offer their seat to one of the One American News reporters. What kind of guy would do that? When Steve and I worked at WINZ, W-I-N-Z, we had this liberal news guy. We had a live news guy in the studio, and he was a liberal. And he did news and weather at the top and bottom of every hour. He'd come in the studio and he'd sit down and he would do his report. And he was a liberal. And his name was John. And he was pretty old and weathered. I don't know if he's still alive or not. This was a long time ago. And he was a recovering alcoholic, and he wore a gold chain that had the Alcoholics Anonymous things on his gold chain that he wore everywhere. And he was a liberal. And what he liked to do is he would come in and do his news at the top and bottom of the hour, and he would find news stories countering whatever we were talking about. And the program director wouldn't let us disagree with him or challenge him or have him on the show to talk, but he could come in every 30 minutes and do a news story from a perspective to undermine everything we were doing on the show, and we weren't allowed to comment on it. Can you imagine? Well, anyway, we had some guests in studio. There was this mayor's race going on in Miami. And I can't remember the names of the guys involved, but it was very controversial. There was remember one of them, they woke up in the morning and their driveway was filled with banana peels, and they were calling it Banana Republic. It was a national story. And we had the guys in studio, these guys running for Miami mayor. One of them was the mayor. One of them was running for mayor. So all the media showed up. And we had this reporter who was from one of the Spanish language news stations, Telemundo, Univision, and she was about 8 months pregnant, but she was one of the hottest women I've ever seen in television news, even though she was 8 months pregnant. Well, you know how these women are on the Spanish channel. She was hot, but she was about 8 months pregnant, and I was surprised she was working. And she says, "Can I sit down here?" And I said, "Absolutely. You know, you're 8 months pregnant. I sit wherever you want." So she sits down in this chair, and there's a bunch of chairs and a bunch of microphones, just like the studio I'm in now. And our news guy, our liberal news guy, came in, and he was pissed off that we had about 12 news outlets, local and national. All the Miami television stations were there, the Spanish language stations. We had a couple of the networks there doing this, NBC News. He comes in and made the pregnant woman stand up, get out of her chair, and move. And I thought, what a jerk move that is. Can't you use one or the other? And this studio had like 8 microphones and 8 chairs. It was massive. It was 940 wins. And I thought, what a jerk. What a jerk. Just a liberal jerk. Made an 8-month pregnant woman. 8 month. Yeah, she's about 8 months pregnant. Easy. And she looked like she was going to give birth right there. Oh man, and I thought, what a jerk. What a jerk. You know, I hold doors open for women. Strange women. I hold doors. If I go to the gas station, or, you know, we got to pull open the door, you know, I'm at Wawa, I open the door for women. Strange women. Sometimes when you do this, they think I'm trying to pick them up or something. And sometimes they're like, "Oh, well, thank you very much." You know, it's something I guess guys don't do so much anymore. I'm not trying to pick you up. I'm just being a nice guy. So anyway, if I were in the White House press corps, you know, as a man, I would offer my chair to the One American News reporter sitting at the back of the room. What kind of man does that? You know what kind of man does that? A pathetic, liberal, very angry man. That's what kind of man does that. Now, one man in that White House press corps is enough of a gentleman to offer their seats to the One American News reporters. And that one blonde reporter, she's really good looking. Oh my gosh. And still the guys, they don't, you know, they're not even, that doesn't even, you know, the looks, they hate One American News because they're real news. They're not fake news. They're real news, and they don't want them to have a chair. You know what that reminds me of? They can't come and sit with us. They got to sit in the back. The first year that Survivor was on television, it was the hottest show on television. Remember, it was on CBS then too. Hottest show on television. I mean, it exploded. Remember how big Survivor was in the first season? And this is when David Letterman was on CBS, and Survivor was huge, and actors in Hollywood were having a meltdown. I remember I was watching Entertainment Tonight. This is when first season of Survivor. It was the biggest show on television since NYPD Blue. I mean, it was huge. I'm watching this red carpet event, and the Entertainment Tonight reporter, they're interviewing people at the event, actors, and they're asking them about Survivor. And I remember Kevin Sorbo and Jennifer Aniston both said the same thing. The reporter says to Jennifer Aniston, "Are you watching Survivor?" And Jennifer Aniston says, and again, Kevin Sorbo said the same thing, and I think Friends might have still been on, or was recently off. And Kevin Sorbo, I think Hercules had just recently gone, or might have still been on. But Jennifer Aniston said, "No, I don't watch that. I support actors. You know, these are real people. Who cares about them? I support actors." and a lot of people that were actors would say, Kevin Sorbo said, "I support actors. I don't watch that." And every week when someone was voted off the island, they would be a guest on David Letterman's show because it was on CBS. And David Letterman did not want to have the people from Survivor on, the voted off tribe member, because actors were panicked about Survivor. They were panicked about Survivor that it was going to put scripted television out of business. It's a lot cheaper too, very popular, So David Letterman was forced by CBS to have them on the show. You guys will remember this when I tell you. This is what's going on with One American News. David Letterman was forced to have them on the show because Survivor was on CBS and he was on CBS, and CBS owned the show and they were his boss. but he came up with a compromise because actors didn't want to come on Letterman's show because he was having on all of these people voted off the island on Survivor. And if you go on YouTube, I bet you can find what I'm telling you to see what I'm talking about. So when someone appeared from Survivor, remember they would get voted out, and then they would be on Letterman that night, right? They were not allowed to come out on stage and sit down with David Letterman. They would stand backstage, and they would have a camera backstage, and they would wave, "Hey, Dave!" Remember that? He wouldn't let them come and sit down and dignify them to be celebrities because actors were paranoid and they wouldn't come on Letterman. Do you remember that? That's what's going on with One American News. They won't let the One American News reporters sit down in the press briefing because that would dignify them as being equal and they're threatened by it. But I'll tell you this, Kayleigh McEnany does an incredible job. And I saw a photograph. One of our listeners who's in the YouTube Live all the time, UK Neil, tweeted a photograph that was the other day that was a close-up of what Kayleigh McEnany walks in with. And you could see she has everything filed and categorized for every possible thing that may come up. You know how she goes and she has all the answers and examples? It was absolutely amazing. So Kayleigh McEnany is the best press secretary in the history of press secretaries. But what I would like her to do is give a chair right up in the front to the One American News reporters. You know, I know the press corps, they control the chairs in that little square area, but put a chair right up next to the podium, right up next to the stage, up against the wall, you know, where like Ivanka and all the guests sit, and let One American News sit there. It's disgusting with this press. All right, listen, I've rambled too much. Let's take our break for the bottom of the hour, and then we'll try to decipher what the Al Jazeera reporter said under her breath to McEnany yesterday. That's coming up. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back.
Hi, Brian Craig here. We've been telling you on the Steve Kane Show, for coronavirus testing, stop by any lab test now of Coral Springs and any lab test now of Boca. One of our longtime sponsors, Dr. Mitch Matez of the Boca Raton Center for Age Management, went to any lab test now of Boca for coronavirus testing this weekend. He called in live on the radio to share his experience.
Listen, Brian, I have a great experience to tell you about.
For my thumbnails, Canva. It's called Canva.
On Friday. I'm sorry, on Saturday. To get.
Why do you ask, Luke?
And it was awesome. We had a little experience where we had somebody in our close circle that tested positive.
If you're not subscribed, subscribe.
Went and had a test. It took 10 days to get the results. We all went into a little bit of a panic, obviously. So we called up any lab test now. It was about maybe 11:30 in the morning on
That's
Saturday.
true.
They said, "Come on."
Yep, Canva. C-A-N-V-A.
I announced myself. We went over there. We got there about
You can. It's an app.
2 minutes
I use the app. There's a desktop version too, but
we sat in the waiting room for less than
you can use the app. I use the app.
Gave us our results, which were negative, and we were on our way home. And a little shout out to Brittany, the nice young lady who did our test. It was completely painless. It was quick. It was simple. It was easy. And
I make them right before I go on at the top because I don't know what I'm going to be talking about at the start of the show until right then. I might change my mind. So I make the thumbnails like
awesome. It really was. It was cool.
Seconds before.
It's simple and
you know, sometimes you'll see me. I'll put the thing up there like 5 minutes before the show. That's right when I finish the thumbnail.
There you go. Doctor recommended. Yeah, it was.
Oh, okay, I'll check it out. Hillbillies Apparel.
It was easy. And listen, to that end, go over and get tested. This is the test you want to get. It tells you point blank, did you have it, do you have it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
That's great. So Dr. Mitch Matez personally recommending any lab test now of Boca Boca. You heard Dr. Mitch Vitez. Any lab test now of Boca is doctor recommended for coronavirus testing. They're located in the Sandalfoot Plaza. It's where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro on the east side of 441. Give them a call, 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009.
I don't get the
Any
joke
lab test
on
now
that.
of Coral Springs is located on the southeast corner.
I don't get the
of
thumbnail
University
joke
and
on that.
Ramblewood over by the Coral Square Mall. Their number 954-906-5983. Any lab test now of Boca and any lab test now
Does
of
it?
Coral
I hope it
Springs.
does.
Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Veterans and spouses of
No.
veterans, you may be entitled to benefits that you are not aware of, including
Milky and Nina are
long-term
fine.
care
It's,
benefits. Call
Nina's my
attorney
dog
Barry
and
Siegel
Milky's
at the
one of my
Siegel Law
cats.
Group and find out what benefits are available to you. With offices in Boca Raton and Fort Lauderdale, call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782. 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
All right, welcome back, one and all. Okay, here we go. So Kayleigh McEnany had a run-in. She has a run. Every time she takes a question, they're all pissed off, at Kayleigh McEnany. So, you know how it goes. Kayleigh McEnany was going back and forth with a reporter from Al Jazeera. McEnany said enough and moved on. And then the Al Jazeera reporter says something kind of under her breath, but it got picked up on the mic. And there's a lot of controversy about what she said. So I'm not going to tell you what has been alleged, she said, nor am I going to tell you what they're saying she said was something different than what it sounded like when I heard it. I want you to hear this yourself and decide for yourself. I don't want my power of suggestion to make you think something. So I'm going to play this at the end. It's about 31 seconds long, this clip. And at the end is the interaction. So I want to play this, then call me and tell me what you think the Al Jazeera reporter says to Kayleigh McEnany. 1-888-GO-KANE 1. 888-465-2631 is our number. Okay? So let me play this for you all, and then I'll play you. Now listen carefully. It's at the end.
Asked me about this, so I'm going to answer. So for a month, they've been collecting ballots with no postmark date, and in fact, what they found is 19% of ballots have been rejected in Queens, 28% rejected in Brooklyn. There are questions about mass mail-out voting, and I know you don't want to hear them, which is why you talk over me. I encourage you to read the op-ed. Yes.
On the China vaccine research, this
Yes,
is very
you've gotten 2
important.
questions, which is more than some of your colleagues. Yes.
Thank you, Kayleigh.
Okay,
Go
go
ahead. In St. Louis, the
Okay, now it's at the end. Now I'll play the. Now that's the whole clip. Let me go to the end. What do you hear the reporter say under her breath, picked up on a hot mic, to McEnany?
China vaccine research, this
Yes,
is very
you've gotten 2
important.
questions, which is more than some of your colleagues. Yes.
Thank you, Kayleigh.
Okay,
Go
go
ahead.
Okay, 1-888-GO-KANE 1, 888-465-2631. Now I'm going to tell you what I hear, and what I hear is what was reported immediately. The internet took off on fire with this. Sometime later, they said she said something else. So I'll play it one more time. 1-888-GO-KANE 1. What does the Al Jazeera reporter say to McEnany under her breath?
Gotten 2 questions, which is more than some of your colleagues. Yes.
Thank you, Kayleigh.
Okay,
Go
go
ahead. In St. Louis.
Okay. It sounds to me. Now and this is what it sounds like to me. It sounds to me as if the reporter is saying to McEnany under her breath, picked up on the hot mic, I think you're a lying bee. And the whole word. She didn't say bee, she said the word. That's what it sounds like to me. I think you're a lying bee. Okay? That's what it sounds like to me. That's was immediately reported. Twitter was about to break yesterday. People were going so crazy with this. I think you're a lying bee. You're allowed to say that word on the radio. I'm just choosing not to. Because like I say, I'm a gentleman. But that's what it sounds like to me. Let me play again now. Tell me, see if that's what it sounds like to you.
Vaccine research. This
Yes,
is very
you've gotten 2 questions, which is more than some of your colleagues. Yes.
Thank you, Kaylee.
Okay, you're aligned
See? I think you're a line B. Isn't that what it sounds like? I think you're a line B.
2 questions, which is more than some of your colleagues. Yes.
Thank you, Kaylee.
Okay, you're aligned
Okay. Now, and when I saw that, I couldn't believe it. And I listened to it several times. And as I'm listening to it now in my headphone here, that's what it sounds like to me. I think you're a line B. And when I saw that, I couldn't believe it. And I thought to myself, well, where's the outrage? I see the conservatives, everyone's tweeting and retweeting it, and I'm like, OMG. It's all over the place. Where's the apology? She should be fired immediately. She should lose her credentials after she publicly apologizes. So then I forget about it, and then a couple hours later, I hear she denies that that's what she said. And then Twitter starts filling up with supporters of the reporter, the Al Jazeera reporter. And they say, and she says, that she did not say, I think you're a line B. What they're claiming she says is, you obviously don't want to dialogue. You obviously don't want to dialogue. So now let me play it again. Do you hear, I think you're a line B, or obviously you do not want to dialogue? Okay, and I don't know, is it power of suggestion? So let's go back. Now again, she says, her defenders say, she said, obviously you don't want to dialogue. Okay, so let me play it now.
Okay.
On
Yes.
the China vaccine research. This
Yes.
is very
You've gotten 2 questions, which is more than some of your colleagues. Yes.
Thank you, Kaylee.
Okay, you're aligned
I don't hear you obviously don't want to dialogue there, but that's what she says. She says, let's play it again.
Research. This
Yes.
is very
You've gotten 2 questions, which is more than some of your
Engage.
colleagues. Yes.
Thank you, Kaylee.
Okay, you're aligned
Okay, someone said, no, her defense is, obviously you don't want to engage. Engage, okay, engage, not dialogue. So let me play it again. Obviously you don't want to engage is what she claims to have said. Obviously you don't want to engage. That's what she says she says.
On the China vaccine research. This
Yes.
is very
You've gotten 2 questions, which is more than some of your colleagues. Yes.
Thank you, Kaylee.
Okay, you're aligned
It still sound. What does it sound like to you? That sounds like the B word to me. All right, our number 1-888 go Kane 1 888-465-2631 888-465-2631. You know, here's the thing. If she did in fact call her Kayleigh McEnany a line B, you know, the left would defend it. You know why they would defend it? They would say, well, she is. Right? Oh my goodness. All right, 1-888 go Kane 1. That's Kane, Kane, and the number 1. 888-465-2631. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Yeah, you're right. She used the B word, but you know why no one cares?
Because she is one, right?
No, because Roger Stone called another radio show, talk show host a nigger.
No, he did not. He did not. The allegation was that he said Negro, which is not the same thing. And I played that one the other day. And that one is a little unintelligible, but the accusation was Negro. All right, there he goes again. All right, you're on the radio. Good morning.
Hello, Brian.
Yes.
Yeah, you can hear plainly say, okay, you're a lion B. That's what she...
That's what you say, not you don't want to engage? You don't want to...
Okay, you're a lion B.
That's what it sounds like to me. So I just wonder how, okay, appreciate the call. This is very, very interesting. Okay, this is very interesting. And I don't know what Roger Stone has to do with this. He doesn't work at the White House. He's not a member of the media, although he did not say what the caller accused him of saying. Okay? He was accused of saying Negro, which is not an off-limits word, although it's a bit dated, but it's not the dreaded N-word. It's another word that's not, are all words within now forbidden? There is something interesting, though, about this. Okay? What they are doing in the press corps. Immediately saying she didn't say it. Why are they doing that? Because, one of the biggest charges made against McEnany and the whole administration is they're liars. Remember, on her first day, one of the first questions, do you pledge never to lie to us? So the whole premise of the press corps is that McEnany is a liar. So it's amazing to me that they are coming out and saying she didn't say that. It's because of the B word. But that's what I clearly hear, and I don't hear you don't want to engage. I hear, I think you're a lying B.
You've gotten 2 questions, which is more than some of your colleagues. Yes.
Thank you, Haley. Okay, you're on.
Yeah, I mean, that's, hey, listen, people get angry and they say things, but if that's what she said, I think you're a lying B. That anger isn't from something that happened in that moment. That's just hate, resentment that's consuming the person towards McEnany and the White House. I think the woman should lose her credentials. I think they should be forced to bring in another reporter. I think she should be forbidden. I think she should have to make a very public apology and be suspended from the press briefing room. That's my opinion. All right, 48 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. On the radio since 1977. That's right. We'll take our break and be right back after this.
5.3 FM, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and AM 1470. WWNN Pompano Beach is the Florida Money Talk Network.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100 savings per tire. Tires for my daughter Emily's car, $135 at the shops around town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65. That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too. Starting at
Give it
just
to the One American News
for
girl.
most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price right over the phone at 954-977-9445. 954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net. Business owners, is your business open and you want to let your customers know? Have you changed the services you offer and want to get the word out? Let people know you are open for business. This is Brian Craig. Call me at 1-888-465-2631 and let's talk about how the Steve Kane Show can get the word out that you are open for business. Don't let the coronavirus crisis put you out of business. Give me a call, 1-888-465-2631. 888-465-2631.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for...
Alrighty, we're back. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show. When I picked up my Explorer from Champaign Automotive Repair the other day, I drove right over to Friendly Tire and bought 4 brand new tires for my Ford Explorer. And I checked around town. I got very good tires put on the Explorer. I wanted to get I wanted to get really good tires for it. Had all that great repair work done. And the lowest price I could find around town, $173. $173. I know it's an odd price, but they had all these weird fees. $173 per tire. Per tire. Friendly Tire, Friendly Mike, $75 a tire. That's right, brand new tires, out the door and on the road, because he doesn't charge you to mount them, doesn't charge you to balance them. The price he gives you is out the door and on the road. So that's a great deal, right? 4 new tires on my Ford Explorer from Friendly Tire in Margate. All right, well, I think mystery solved there. Mystery solved. Okay, now, another thing happened in that press briefing yesterday. They're getting all upset. They're getting all upset. Okay, they asked the president about the Maxwell lady, right? What's her first, how do you pronounce her first name? Is it Ghislaine Maxwell? I guess that's her name. I don't spend too much time thinking about Jeffrey Epstein or this woman. You know, the media are so desperate to connect President Trump to this woman and Epstein. Oh, but the president and first lady are in a picture with them. The president has been a celebrity his entire life. He's in pictures with all kinds of people. What does that mean? I'm in pictures. You know how many pictures I take with people? Give me a break. Over the years, all of a sudden, you take you take a photograph of someone, you're in league with everything they've ever done in their life. But Ghislaine Maxwell, she's in jail, and they asked the president about her yesterday, which I knew they would do in the White House press briefing, and he responded. Let me see here. Let me find. Do I have it? Yes, here it is. This is. They call it a bizarre response. Here's the president responding about the Maxwell lady. Steve Kane Show.
And so a lot of people want to know if she's going to turn powerful people. And I know you've talked in the past about Prince Andrew, and you've criticized Bill Clinton's behavior. I'm wondering, do you feel that she's going to turn in powerful men? How do you see that working out?
I don't know. I haven't really been following it too much. I just wish her well, frankly. I've met her numerous times over the years, especially since I lived in Palm Beach, and I guess they lived in Palm Beach. But I wish her well, whatever it is. I don't know the situation with Prince Andrew. Just don't know. I'm not aware of it.
All right, there you have it. Yeah, there's a photograph of me with Liberal Al. I'm pretty sure of it. Absolutely. Oh, man, he's come to some events we've done. So he's asked about Maxwell, wishes her luck, and there's even... I saw one story today that had a map of Palm Beach, the island of Palm Beach, where all the rich people live, showed Epstein's house, and then showed Mar-a-Lago and how close they are. You know how many celebrities and millionaires and billionaires live? They're all close together. That Palm Beach island is a little tiny place. Okay? So that's, so here you have the President of the United States. In the United States, people are presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. So here you have a woman who's facing some serious charges, even though she's connected to all these liberals. How many times was Bill Clinton on Epstein's plane? He's the commander-in-chief. He's asked about a legal proceeding, and he takes a non-position on it. Doesn't inject himself into it. What's wrong with that? Is he supposed to condemn someone's guilt like that before they've been judged by a jury of their peers? Of course he's, that's what he's supposed to do. He's nonpartisan in that fight. Sorry, people. Didn't get the answer they wanted. Mike and Boca, you're on the radio.
Yeah, he was trolling yesterday, good big time.
Oh, yeah.
Trolling about Ghislaine Maxwell. And I think that was more of a shot to the Clinton, so...
Yeah.
Doesn't get suicided.
Yeah.
Gotta make her feel good. She's got a lot of dirt on people. Hopefully she'll spill the beans when she's ready to do it.
Yeah.
And you said that someone reported how close Mar-a-Lago was to Jeffrey Epstein's house?
Yeah, 1.8 miles or something.
They should have reported how close all those girls lived from his house. They lived close too.
Yeah.
Right?
All these rich celebrities in Palm Beach are within 2-3 miles of each other. I'm sure Rush Limbaugh's house is about the same distance.
So was that neighborhood where he got all the girls. They should have said that.
Really? I didn't know that.
It's about 3 miles. Did you watch the Netflix documentary about?
Nah, I thought about watching it, but I'm really not interested in Jeffrey Epstein too much.
Well, it's more of the girls, Howie. If you have the time, I would definitely recommend watching it.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember when the Epstein trial was going on in Palm Beach. It was a big story here locally for a couple of years, and I never followed it or talked about it then. Now all of a sudden, because I got a couple photographs of Trump with him, they make such a big deal about it.
Also in the mask, he was chilling about that too. And Juanita Project is right. I'm curious to see if they say me today.
Now, what does it sound like the Al Jazeera reporter said to McEnany? Does it sound like I think you're a line B to you, or you don't want to engage?
It sounded she said line B.
Yeah.
But I was going to ask you, do you have a way, maybe on your off time, to slow down the audio?
I could slow it down. What I did with it, I didn't want to slow it down and alter it, because then people will accuse, but I did increase the audio and modulation level of it as loud as possible so you could really hear it. I did increase the volume of it on Adobe Audition before the show this morning, so you could really hear it. But I can't slow it down while I'm in the studio. I'd have to do it after the show, but I don't want to alter the audio other than make it louder. I want it to be, it sounds to me that that's what she said.
That's what she said too, because I understand she's done this before.
Really?
But I don't. Yeah, that's what I read yesterday, but I didn't really look into it too much.
The reporters, I wish they would get back into because they're wearing masks, I can't even tell who they are, and I would like them to identify who they are and what organization they're with, so we know who the hell they are.
This is where, like the lanyard, you can actually make a lift the lanyard.
You don't see the reporters saying, I'm John so-and-so from CBS News. They don't do that anymore. They just assume everybody knows who the hell they are.
I just see the same people asking the same 6 questions every day.
So Fauci's throwing the first pitch. Let me tell you something. Okay, about throwing the first pitch. By the way, thanks for the call, Mike and Boca. I have heard many, many people who have thrown the first pitch at baseball games talk about the complete panic attacks they've gone through in the days leading up to it, and the day of the event is one of the worst days in their life because it's not that easy to do. Even though they don't have you exactly on the mound, they bring you closer to the plate. It is one of the scariest things for people to do. I've heard many celebrities talk about this. And, a couple things about this, though. Is anyone hoping that Fauci doesn't, when he does it, messes up? Any of you hoping for that? I know a lot of people are rooting for that. But isn't touching the baseball, does that violate anything that do you have to, that's exactly, do you have to wash your hands every time you touch the ball? Right? Like the catcher, right? When he catches the ball that Fauci throws, I wonder how far the catcher's going to have to move to the left or the right to get Fauci's catch and move in towards him. Do you have to wash your hands? Like if you're on first base, the ball is hit, boom, do you have to sanitize after? What is Fauci's recommendation for baseball when you touch that ball that everyone's touching? And oh my goodness. Oh yeah, I know. It's pretty disgusting, isn't it? It sounds pretty disgusting to me. Right? You got to sanitize it every time somebody touches it. Oh my gosh. And what about if you throw it from first to second and then you got something big going on? How soon after do you wash your hands? The play's done. Right? Next batter is up. Does the game have to... I want to ask Fauci, does the game have to stop for everyone to sanitize their hands? How many... you could have 3-4 people touch that ball and during a play. I don't know. We'll find out. Did they do some contact tracing there, Fauci? How arrogant of him. Here you had him out there taking the photographed poolside for the magazine cover. Now he's throwing the first pitch. This guy, he's a celebrity now. Does he really have the time to be doing such things during this pandemic? Is that something he really should be doing? I think that's part of the reason. I think he wasn't invited to the press briefing yesterday because of the magazine cover and throwing the first pitch. That's what I think. Brooks was back off stage, Trump said, but Fauci wasn't invited, and that's why he's gone celebrity now, and Trump doesn't like that. And he shouldn't, because there's serious business going on. This guy's out there trying to be a rock star and a movie star. All right, 1 hour down, 2 to go. Coming up on 2 minutes after 7. We got a guest coming up in the next hour. Don't go anywhere. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We'll be right back.
5.3 FM, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and AM 1470. WWNN Pompano Beach is the Florida Money Talk Network.
Have you ever picked up a towel set because it felt really soft in the store, but when you go to use it, it's not very absorbent? It's basically a towel that's leaving you out to dry. Mike Lindell, Trump supporter and inventor of MyPillow, has developed a towel that actually works. Towels that actually dry you. MyPillow is debuting the MyPillow 6-piece towel set that includes 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, and 2 washcloths. They come in a variety of colors, and right now, when you buy one set, you get another set free. But you gotta use the promo code KANE, KANE, at checkout. Go to MyPillow.com. Click on the radio listener specials. MyPillow products come with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. To get the buy one, get one free on the 6-piece set off MyPillow towels, just go to MyPillow.com, click the radio listener special, and enter the promo code KANE, KANE, at checkout. Or call them directly, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. That's MyPillow.com, promo code KANE. Kane.
We are chatting today with Frank, the owner of 2 magnificent Ace Hardware stores. One, Deerfield Beach, 365 South Federal Highway, about a quarter of a mile south of Hillsborough on the west side of Federal Highway. And the other, Beach Ace Hardware, located at 232 Commercial Boulevard, half a block west of A1A in Lauderdale by the Sea. Well, one of the things I noticed when I first walked into Ace Hardware is that you carry such a wide variety of the big brands all under one roof. It's astounding.
That's Ace's new practice. It's called Best Brands. And under one roof, we have major categories. Let me give you an example of 2. Yeti coolers, Craftsman hand tools, Milwaukee hand tools, Steel power equipment, Benmore paint, Weber grills, Napoleon grills, Traeger grills, Big Green Egg. We are a platinum dealer. We have the largest selection of Green Egg products, all under one roof. All with people that are experienced and show you how to use these products.
There are lots of Ace Hardware stores, but there are only 2 that are advertising with the Steve Kane Show. We're talking about the Deerfield location, a quarter of a mile south of Hillsborough Boulevard on the west side of Federal, and of course the Beach Ace Hardware, located at 232 Commercial Boulevard, a half block west of A1A in Lauderdale by the Sea. Very, very special locations. Be sure to mention Steve Kane sent you.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE-1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE-1. And now, here's Steve.
All right, 5 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show. It's Wednesday. Welcome back. Hour number 2 has begun, the 22nd of July, 2020. You know, I got a call yesterday that was meant for the person that used to have my phone number. Any of you have this happen on your cell phones? You get a new cell number and you get calls, it seems like a year, 6 months to a year from the person that used to have usually when I get a new phone number, it's usually debt collectors from the person that used to have the number. And I guess they changed their number so the debt collectors would leave them alone. I got a call. Yeah, and the reason I have a new phone number is because of Liberal Al the John had gotten my old cell phone number and was texting me and calling me and leaving me messages, even though I asked him not to. And I got a new cell phone number because of Liberal Al the John. And that was tough. I had such a great phone number. The last 4 digits were 1922. It was so easy to remember. And when they came out with the new iPhones, I said, you know what, I'm going to get the new number when I get the new phone, because this guy, he won't stop leaving me messages and texting me, even though I've told him not to. And I still haven't given everybody my number. I got a DM on Twitter from a celebrity friend of mine from Los Angeles who said, Brian, I've been trying to get a hold of you. I've been texting you. You never return my text. I said, I got a new number last year. And it's like, oh, well, someone's been getting my messages because they say red. But anyway, it's true. It's true. Yeah, I know people. People think, you don't have friends in Los Angeles. I do. I have celebrity friends. They just don't want people to know they're my friend. But anyway, a famous author. So I got a call yesterday from the person that used to have my phone number, and it was from a local middle school telling me that they're going to start the school year with virtual learning. And Broward County has not yet decided what they're doing. They'll probably do the virtual. They do, Broward County does whatever Dade does, it seems to me. They're kind of like, Dade's, you know what. But this is really a terrible thing, We have the left arguing for homeschooling and telling us how great homeschooling is. What I think I think the school should reopen. If people don't want to send their children to the school in person, I think they can elect to do the distance learning at home, okay? I would give the option. But schools need to go back, and they need to go back for a number of reasons. One, the parents need them to go back. In Dade County, they're shutting down summer camps. How are parents supposed to work? They don't want them to work. They want everybody out of work and unemployed to tank the economy and this for the election. But anyway, last year, children did not receive a proper education. Everyone got passed last year. If they couldn't read, if they couldn't write, if they didn't complete their standardized testing and everything else, they all got passed. We have an incoming class of college freshmen that didn't complete high school. Think about that. They didn't complete high school. And now they're in college. They were all given the credits. Distance learning's a joke. When my daughter was in school, in high school and middle school, she had a couple of surgeries, and she had to do the distance learning while she was recovering. It's just a joke to legally get the days they need. And now we're going to start another year where kids are not getting a proper education. In years to come, there are going to be 2 things that there's going to be major problems with. One, our children are not being educated. This distance learning is a joke. What I would offer is this. There's 2 options I think they should, and the other one I'll tell you in a second. One, open up the schools. Parents that don't want to send their children to school have the option of distance learning. That's one option. And another option is, let's turn the schools over from the public school boards and everything, turn it over to charter school companies. And children whose parents want to send them to school, send them to charter schools all over the place. How about that? And this whole idea that they still want all the damn money from the federal government. They say, well, the federal government only donates a small portion. Then why do they mind? You don't, if the schools aren't open, you don't need air conditioning, you don't need the supplies, you don't need the custodial staff, you don't need the cafeteria staff, you don't need all the administrators. I don't even think you don't need the principals. You could probably have one principal handle 10 or 15 schools right now, easily. But we're going to have 2 problems in years to come because of this that are going to be very, very big problems. One, we've got a generation of children that are not being properly educated with this fake distance learning business that's going on. Okay? The other thing we're going to have a problem with are health issues related to wearing masks. Now, it when I go to retail stores or go to restaurants and I see workers that have to wear masks 8, 10, 12 hours a day at work, my heart goes out to them. My heart goes out to them. I know how much I'm sorry. I was talking yesterday, I was at Target and I ripped my mask off. I couldn't take it anymore. They require them. I said, I can't, and I said the F word. I was FaceTiming with my wife. I couldn't breathe. I was talking to my wife shopping at Target. I couldn't breathe. They require masks. I took off I ripped it off. I told my, I can't wear this effing mask anymore. You know, I just couldn't. I did put it on when there were people closer to me. I couldn't breathe. You know, and so the other problem is we're going to have people in years to come that have health issues related to the mask requirements. Much like after 9/11, all these issues of health that were related to 9/11 responders. Remember all the problems with that? Or like Agent Orange back with the Vietnam guys? We're going to have that with the masks. 5 years, 10 years down the road. And our kids are not receiving a proper education. These are two very big problems. And we're going to be hearing about it. It's really bad. Yeah. All right. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hi, yeah. I think that the reporter said she's a sexy.
No. Mm-mm. Yeah, I know. I'm sure you'd think, yeah. I love these people. But let me tell you something. In some of these grades, what's going on with the education system right now is pretty bad. Pretty bad. And, you know, I was talking last week or the week before. It's so interesting that the conservatives are trying to get the schools back open, kids in the classroom, and the distance learning is being pushed by the left. The teachers union are pushing distance learning. You know, this is a fascinating thing, okay? You have conservatives telling us that homeschooling is inadequate, and we have liberals advocating for homeschooling. Homeschooling has been one of the biggest divides among the left and the right over the years, hasn't it? Now, listen to this. This is education-related story. WFB television reports varsity baseball coach and social studies teacher Justin Cusera said that Walled Lake School District officials hauled him into a closed-door meeting after he indicated his support for President Trump's speech to reopen schools. He told this to the Washington Free Beacon. The principal and district superintendent gave him an ultimatum: be fired or resign. And this is what he tweeted. He tweeted this: I'm done being silent. Real Donald Trump, because he tagged the president, is our president. That's what he tweeted. I'm done being silent. Donald Trump's our president. That's all he tweeted. He says, I was required to meet with human resources. This is the social study. He's a social studies teacher and varsity baseball coach. I was required to meet with human resources, the superintendent, and my principal on July 10th. They initially took my statement on why I tweeted those things, and they told me I would have a decision about my future employment. When they completed the meeting, I was told I had the option to either be fired or resign. He's a damn social studies teacher. He's telling the people on his private Twitter who the president is. That's part of social studies involves government. What if he said, I'm done being silent? Black Lives Matter. Would he have been hauled in and fired? Hell no. Social studies teacher says Trump's our president and he's out the door. That's the book-burning left, people. All right, we'll take our break. 15 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian. This is the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. On the radio since 1977. We'll be back right after this.
Stop paying an outrageous fortune for your tires. Go easy on your budget and buy your tires at Friendly Tire in Margate, where they have all the major brands like Goodyear and Firestone at discount prices that absolutely can't be beaten. Steve Kane's tires for his Toyota van at the other shops, $175 a tire. At Friendly Tire, just $75 a tire. That's a $100
Hey, it's
savings
Brian. How you
per
doing?
tire. Tires for my daughter.
Hey, guys,
Emily's
I'll put you
car,
on hold. We'll be on in just
$135
about
at the
a
shops
minute and a
around
half. Hold on.
town. The price at Friendly Tire, only $65.
That's our guest.
That's a $70 savings per tire. These prices are out the door and on the road. Free mounting and balancing and no added charges. Friendly Tire have a great selection of good used tires too, starting at just $30 for most cars. Call my good buddy Friendly Mike at Friendly Tire. Tell him what you drive and he will give you a great low price.
Now, the guest is Laura Loomer, by the way.
954-977-9445.
Yes, Judy was right.
954-977-9445. Online, friendlytire.net.
The science behind the aging process is exploding. We have come to a point where we can take steps to significantly improve the health and function of our cells. Healthy cells means healthy tissue, means healthy organs, means a healthy body. And healthy bodies do better and live longer. That's right, folks, I said it. Live longer. Life expectancy is increasing in this country, and it is not a coincidence. With simple, safe, and effective therapies such as peptides, we can significantly improve the function and health of your cells, and therefore we are improving your health from the ground up. Sleep better, lose weight, build muscle, have energy, have sex, be in a good mood. Feeling good and looking good sounds good to you. Call me, Dr. Mitchell Matez at the Boca Raton Center for Age Management at 561-953-5490. That's 561-953-5490, or visit our website at hormonetherapybocaraton.com.
Listen to the Steve King Show on
Steve King Show.
Radio. Just
Hold on.
search for WWNN.
All right, welcome back, everyone. 18 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. Oh, boy. On the line, we have, well, a woman who, pretty much a household name, I think, among conservatives. Laura Loomer, who's running for Congress here in South Florida. Laura Loomer, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm a little upset, Laura Loomer, and that's why I asked you to join us today. And I'll tell you why I'm upset. Yeah, full disclosure, I am in the district and I am voting for you, Laura Loomer. And I think, I will be voting, as will my entire family. My wife and daughter are also voting for you, they've told me. So, yeah, so you got 3 votes in my house. I got my sample ballot in the mail this week. And I know there's a primary coming up next month. And I was very upset that I saw there were 5 people running against you in the Republican primary for this congressional seat. None of them have I ever heard of before other than you. And I thought it was important to have you on the show because this primary is very important. And I feel that the Never Trump Republican establishment are working against you in this primary.
Yeah, well, it's definitely a legitimate concern. I'm very confident I'm going to be running my primary on August 18th. But, this just goes to show you the instability within the Republican Party. And, if you're going to unseat a Democrat incumbent, somebody like Lois Frankel, who is my opponent, you need to be able to have name recognition, you need to be able to raise the grassroots army, you need to be able to raise a lot of money. And none of the other candidates in the race have been able to do that. They haven't proven that they're viable candidates. And the polling and the fundraising suggests, and it proves, that I am the most viable candidate. For the last 4 quarters in a row, and mind you, my campaign is the only campaign in the country that's been totally banned and intentionally denied equal access to social full-blown election interference, okay? And even despite those hurdles, for the last 4 quarters in a row, we've outraged all of my opponents combined. So all 5 of the Republicans combined, including Lois Frankel.
Now, Lois Frankel, who I call her the Nancy Pelosi of Florida because she's one of these old Democrat party machine people, very entitled, and that's a strong force to go up against. She's been in elected office for as long as I can remember, so she's really entrenched in South Florida, and you're the only viable candidate that go up against her. These other 5, see, this is what pissed me off, Laura Loomer. I get my sample ballot, and I see for you there's 6 candidates. Every other official, except for one, only had 2, and there were 3 people running in the primary for something else. Who are these candidates? Are they never Trump Republican establishment people trying to stop you from getting the nomination? Are they candidates put up by Democrats, or are they just egomaniacs? Who are these jerks?
I think it's probably a combination of all three. You know, there's probably people who want to do ego runs. There was recently a story in the Floridian, though, that showed that they've actually binded together and signed a pact. So all 5 of these candidates recently took to Facebook, and one of them had said that if I win, and I'm gonna win, they're going to campaign against me. So it's like this real never-Trumper mentality, the same thing they tried to pull.
So that means they're going to be out campaigning for Lois Frankel?
Well, if I'm a Republican nominee and they're saying that they're going to campaign against me instead of getting behind my race, I guess that would mean they're going to support the Democrat.
That's disgusting. Now, what area not the district number, because I don't even know it's my district and I don't know the number. What areas does this district cover? Because let me tell you, this vote is as important as the vote in November. I know a lot of people blow off primaries. They're trying to stop Laura Loomer. These never-Trumpers, they're at it. They're trying to stop Laura Loomer from getting this nomination, so you got to vote. That's why she's here today. What area does this district cover?
So it covers a portion of West Boca, Delray, Boynton, Lantana, Manalapan, Lake Worth, all of Palm Beach Island, Mar-a-Lago's in the district.
That's right.
President Trump and Mrs. Trump will be constituents of mine when I win my race. West Palm Beach and Wellington, of course. So it's a large district, but of course it was previously gerrymandered, so it doesn't cut across all of Palm Beach. It was, it has kind of an odd shape to it.
Yeah, it is odd. It is. Now, a lot of people ask, I get this question all the time from people, does Laura Loomer have a chance to win against Lois Frankel? What are the polls telling you that you have?
So there was an internal poll that was conducted in the beginning of June that actually received national news coverage, and it was tweeted out by Katrina Pearson, President Trump's senior advisor, and it shows that I'm actually 9 points ahead of Lois Frankel right now. And just like you said before, with Lois Frankel being the Nancy Pelosi of South Florida, that's why she's called Nancy Pelosi's puppet, because she has a 100% identical voting record to Nancy Pelosi in the 116th Congress.
Oh.
The last several weeks, Lois Frankel hasn't showed up to Congress to vote. She's nowhere to be seen, and she's allowing for Nancy Pelosi to proxy vote for her. And so she doesn't really do anything for the people of the district. It's why people call her Lazy Lois, you know? So when Trump comes, we already have a name for him. We already saved him some time.
Yeah.
Lazy Lois. It's because she doesn't do anything for the people of District 21. And just because she is now entitled, I suppose, to this position, given that she's been in politics in Palm Beach longer than I've been alive. You know, I'm 27. She's been here for about 40 years. And she doesn't have much she can say for her record of accomplishments. And last election cycle, she ran unopposed, and that's unacceptable. There should never be a situation in this country, it doesn't matter whether the seat is completely winnable or unwinnable, Democrats should never be running unopposed. Okay, this is why we're having serious problems in our country right now.
Yeah.
Free Democrats.
Well, there's no question these never-Trumpers, these Democrats have these... And by the way, if you're one of these 5 people running against Laura Loomer, shame on you. Call me on the air and tell me what the hell you think you're doing. You're screwing up everything here. I know the president and first lady will be voting for Laura Loomer, just like I will. Mar-a-Lago's in the district, very important. Can you imagine? Laura Loomer will be the voice of Donald Trump and the first lady in Congress. That's amazing. I got a call yesterday from someone from the Broward Republican Executive Committee. Now, I know your district is Palm Beach. It's not Broward County, but they're right next to each other. And this guy, he called me on the air, and when I mentioned your name, he had an immediate reaction, which was very hostile. He's with the Broward County Republican Executive Committee. And let me play this for you. I pulled this call from yesterday. If you're out there listening, caller, you're welcome to call back in. I'll put you on with Loomer here. Okay, so he's with the Broward Republican Executive Committee. He called me live on the air yesterday morning. Here's the exchange.
Hey, Brian, this is Mark from Hollywood. I'm involved with the BREC, the local Republican committee here in Broward County.
I'm in Palm Beach County. I got my sample ballot yesterday. I am in the district that Laura Loomer is running in. There's a Republican primary in August. Laura Loomer, you know who Laura Loomer is?
Yes, I like her, but she's also got a big mouth.
Oh, she's got a big mouth.
Oh, did you hear? He's at Broward Republican Executive Committee. Do you hear how he dislikes you, Laura?
Well, look, maybe if more Republicans in Congress had big mouths like my mouth, we wouldn't be in the situation.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Going to put up a fight against the radical left because we are watching America burn to the ground before our eyes right now. And people are wake up. And, you know, we don't have any more time for letter writing and sitting back and allowing these Democrats to run circles around Republicans in Congress. This election, hands down, is the most important election of our lifetime. If the Democrats succeed in winning the White House, I think it's safe to say this country is over. Experiments of America will be over. We see that the Democrats are hell-bent on destroying our Constitution. Okay, they are trying to eradicate our American values. They, every single day, seem to be pushing more radical positions that threaten everybody's constitutional rights. I mean, how many extreme violations of people's rights have we seen over the last 4 months just during this COVID pandemic?
Oh, yeah.
Gun owners being arrested, okay? People in Broward, you want to talk about Broward? Where are the Republicans in Broward fighting back against this mandatory mask mandate in which they're trying to force people to wear masks inside of their own home?
Well, apparently they're fighting against you, Laura Loomer, because you've got a big mouth, according to the Broward Republican Executive Committee. I see a lot happening to you what these establishment people did to Alan West, and it's disgusting. Has Lois Frankel given a position on this absurd defunding of the police racket that the Democrats have going on?
Yeah, Lois Frankel supports defunding the police. Lois Frankel also has been supporting legislation recently in Congress that would have stripped officers of their legal immunity. So it's really a backdoor way of defunding the police.
Yeah.
And also, too, Lois Frankel has been participating in several meetings and has been seen supporting Black Lives Matter publicly. She's actually tweeted her support of Black Lives Matter. And, you know, it's pretty despicable given that the Black Lives Matter as a whole, along with Antifa, have been chanting things like kill the police, put pigs in a blanket. I mean, these are people who are very hostile towards our law enforcement officers here. And Lois doesn't really seem to have much respect for the law.
Yeah, and I would assume that you have the support of Roger Stone, since you were in the photograph seen worldwide when he got the great news.
Yeah, so Roger has endorsed me, and he's a very close friend of mine. And the night that the president commuted his sentence several hours prior, because, I had known for about a couple of days or so what was coming, Roger wanted me to be there. So I was actually in the room with Roger when President Trump called him and commuted his sentence. So,
yeah.
Historic moment, and I'm very happy.
Yeah, he's a great guy. He's a great guy.
Just the hell that they put his family through. It's just another blatant violation of someone's rights, and also just another perfect example of the lawlessness that is the future of America if Democrats win in November.
All right, now, we're about out of time, so this is very important. We have Laura Loomer on the line. She's running for Congress here in South Florida. These never-Trumpers have five Republicans running against Laura Loomer in the primary. Voting is important. When does early voting start, Laura? How do people vote early, and when is the actual primary day?
Right, so the actual day of the primary is August 18th. However, early voting begins August 3rd to August 16th. And I know a lot of people have been, voting absentee because some people are older and they don't want to go to the polls. I recommend going to the polls, but if you want to request an absentee ballot, you can contact the supervisor of elections and do that. So you can either vote absentee, go up to early voting, or vote on the 18th. And if you need help or have any questions, you can contact me on my website, lauraloomerforcongress.com, and I will get back to you.
All right, Laura Loomer, thanks for joining us. And I would wish you good luck, but you've got it. You're going to win. I'll be calling you Congresswoman soon. I can't wait.
We're going to win. Yeah, we're going to.
No doubt.
Working hard to take back the House for Republicans. They're an election year.
That's right. All right, take care. Laura Loomer, thanks for joining us. She's great. She's got my vote. If you're on hold, stand by. We'll be right back after this.
85.3 FM, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and AM 1470. WWNN Pompano Beach is the Florida Money Talk Network.
You've heard Steve Kane talk about the great work and the incredible prices at Dr. Gupta's Brighton Dental. Richie the bus driver called Steve Kane on the air and told him about his experience at Brighton Dental.
Good morning. I have to talk about Brighton Dental because your sponsor is a miracle worker. I broke my tooth. I fractured it and it went backwards in my mouth.
Oh my
front top tooth. I put it back into the socket. It felt like it was falling out. I had pain. I couldn't even eat spaghetti. And I was going to a wedding in New York 2 days later. And I said, what am I going to do? And the dentist here wanted to charge me $120 just to look at it and to tell me he couldn't do anything. I went to Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. I traveled 139 miles. I would do it again in a heartbeat.
I got a tech issue and I can't find the board out.
My tooth for 2 hours. Put a pin in it.
I have no idea what the phones are doing.
I could eat anything I want. He said it was temporary. He did such a great job. It feels like permanent. I have no pain. I can eat anything I want now. And the fact of the matter, this is what really was unbelievable. I was getting on the bus to go to the reception, okay, in New York City. He knew I was in New York. The phone rings. Who do you think's on the line?
Dr. Gupta.
Right. He wants to see if everything is going okay and if I'm in
This
any
is
pain.
unbelievable.
The guy is unbelievably wonderful. I mean, thank you so much. I wouldn't have been able to eat. I wouldn't have been able to go. I would have looked like a pumpkin.
Everybody needs a great dentist, and of course, for you Steve Kane listeners, you have one, Dr. Gupta, and he's been over there at Brighton Dental. He takes really good care of you. He's very conscientious. Dentistry is an art when you stop and
This
think
is
about
unbelievable.
it. And Dr. Gupta certainly is an artist, and we're so pleased to have him with us.
Yeah, I just wanted them to know if you need a dentist and the guy is so good at what he does, he's so
I got
gentle,
things to worry about other than.
I don't like dentists.
Hey, no, I keep meaning to bring in my Trump flag and I keep forgetting. I'll try to remember to bring it tomorrow.
I don't have any pain. I can eat anything I want. Incredible.
Take Richie the bus driver's advice and go see Dr. Gupta at Brighton Dental. Call 954-922-4633. 954-922-4633.
Folks, I'm here with my attorney.
I am having a technical problem in the
attorney.
Rich.
Executed my revocable living
Rich.
trust. Now, I had a revocable living trust when I went to see Barry, and I discovered that just having it's not enough. You have to keep it updated. Give me the reasons for that, Barry.
Well, Steve, things change as time goes by, and that's why it's important. Just like you go to the doctor.
There's a tech problem with the phones. I can't fix it, and the board op is downstairs smoking, and I can't go downstairs and get him. I don't have time to go down and back up. I can't get Steve connected, and the phones are all locked. I don't know what to do.
Some of the provisions that you may have made, your beneficiaries, your trustees, you may need to change them for one reason or another. Maybe your trustee's no longer with us. Maybe they're not the best choice anymore. Maybe you had more children and you need to.
This is really unbelievable.
Beneficiaries as well.
In my case, my executor had died, so I had no one representing me. Today I have Brian, who made him the executor.
And that's exactly
I don't know what to do.
You need to review and dust off that old estate plan.
I've never seen this happen
Take a
before,
look
and
see what you have.
I got to come
and
back
make
in
sure
40
it's up to date.
seconds with
You
no
also want to
phones.
make sure that it's up to date because
Rich!
laws change from time to time, and also things in your financial life may have changed, hopefully for the better. And if that's the case, you need to make sure that your planning is up to date so that.
So I got to wait for
bottom
him
line
to
is,
come
you
back
want your
upstairs
estate
from
plan to
smoking the
work for
cigarette.
you when you need it.
It's
that's
sitting
why
over
it's
here
important
in the
to make
control
sure
room.
that your estate plan and
I
specifically
went over to where he
your
works.
trust is up to date.
The bottom line is call Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group, make an appointment, go in, make sure that your
It's very
revocable living
aggravating.
trust is updated.
The phone's doing something I don't know what. I can't fix it. All the lines are filled up.
FLA 3782. Be sure to mention to Barry that Steve Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for.
All right, guys, I'm Brian. I apologize for the extra long break. There's a technical problem here that I can't fix on my own, so I got to wait for Rich to get back up here. If you're listening somewhere, there's a problem, and I can't fix it, and I played an extra long commercials there, so I could try to fix the problem, but I was unsuccessful. So if you're trying to call in, you can't get through. There's a problem with the phone system, and I can't get Steve connected. So Steve Kane, if you're out there listening, there's a tech issue, and I'll call you as soon as I can to get you connected. Great interview there with Laura Loomer. I want to thank Laura Loomer. I am voting for her, as is my wife and daughter. Very excited about that. Oh, and I'll give you an update. Steve's studio at home is about halfway completed at this point. So Steve's at home, the Steve Kane mobile radio studio in his home, about halfway done. And it might actually be done by the end of this week, where he'll start broadcasting from there, if not the end of this week, sometime early next week. So that's pretty good news. I would give out the phone numbers, but I can't take calls and I cannot dial out. I don't know, but the phones are doing something very strange. I don't know exactly what is causing this. I don't know what when I hung up on Laura Loomer, the phone started acting very strangely. I guess the phones are part of the Never Trump Republican establishment. All right, anyway, guys, welcome back. It's Wednesday. My name is Brian. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, where the show must go on. I mean, technical problems, we'll get through them. That's what it's all about. I play a couple sound bites, and I'll talk to you all about them, since I can't, just that are listening, I can't talk to any callers, and I can't connect to Steve. Someone said reboot the phone. You don't think I tried that? That was the first thing I did, was reboot the phone. But this phone's connected to another phone in another studio on the other side of the building, and I don't have time to reboot out the building. I'm on the air. I want to play a couple of clips. One is Mika Brzezinski interviewing Madam Speaker Pelosi. I kind of like calling her Madam Speaker because she's the Speaker of the House of Representatives. She's a House Madam, basically, is what she is. I guess she's the Madam of the House of Representatives. She loves to be called Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker. You know, the hatred that the establishment, that the media, and that the Democrats have for President Trump, they always dislike the Republicans. George Bush 1 and 2, Ronald Reagan. There has not been hatred of a Republican like this since Richard Nixon. And, we were talking about Roger Stone earlier. Richard Nixon was a good, honorable man, okay? He was not involved in the Watergate burglary. He was incredibly popular. He was one of the most popular Republican presidents in history. He was reelected. He won 3 elections. A lot of people don't know this. Richard Nixon, you would think he was the most unpopular, evil person that ever lived. Well, that's just because liberals make the movies about him and write the books about him for the most part. But Richard Nixon won 3 presidential elections. That they did, 68, 72, and 60. He beat Senator Kennedy. They stole the election when they found that bag of ballots in the church basement in Chicago. They stole it. And he was such an honorable man, he didn't do what Al Gore did, contest the election and demand a recount. He just thought for the best of the country. It was best. So he went, I mean, think about that. No other president other than FDR has won 3 presidential elections. That's absolutely amazing, Richard Nixon. And, you know, Donald Trump's going through a lot of what Nixon went through is they just have complete contempt for this guy. They hate him. I have an old saying, they hate him like the plague, but now that we're dealing with one, they seem to want to keep this one going forever. So I got to think of a new analogy other than hate him like the plague. But they hate this guy so much. And, you know, of all the emotions, hate is the worst. Because, you know, when someone is consumed with hate, it's as if they're intoxicated on some type of drug or something, and they don't think clearly. And you get 2 of these people together, and you've got Mika Brzezinski interviewing Nancy Pelosi. And one of their things, they bring this up all the time with Republicans. He's not going to leave the White House. He's not going to... You noticed there was the questioning from that Democrat that interviewed the president over the weekend, Chris Wallace. Chris Wallace is a Democrat. It's no secret. Chris Wallace asked President Trump if he would accept the election result, and he wouldn't say yes to that. And they're like, oh, look, he's not going to leave. With the media, they're trying to steal the election with their mail-in vote racket. And what they want to do is they want to have CNN and the major news networks declare Biden the winner, and then they expect Trump to accept whatever CNN says. Well, CNN has declared Joe Biden the winner. He won't accept. You know, you no longer have to count ballots. You just have to wait for CNN to declare. That's what they're trying to do, okay? And that's why he's non-committal. Rich? Not back yet. I have to go get him during the break. So anyway, here's Pelosi talking to Mika Brzezinski about Trump refusing to leave the White House.
And in the interview with Chris Wallace, he did not confirm whether he would leave, whether he would accept the results of the election.
Well, Mika, he wouldn't. She's all the giggles. MSNBC does not decide who the winner is. The part of the problem they have with Trump is they believe their own rap about him, right? They think he's stupid. So, they project that. So, of course, he is stupid. And they think that they're going to be able to declare the winner on election night, NBC, CNN, Fox News probably too, Chris Wallace over there, and he's supposed to leave based on that. But anyway, here's the exchange. Play the whole thing.
And in the interview with Chris Wallace, he did not confirm whether he would leave, whether he would accept the results of the election if he lost. What do you make of that?
Well, that's a lot of question there about coronavirus, what we do about it. But the fact is, whether he knows it yet or not, he will be leaving. Just because he might not want to move out of the White House doesn't mean we won't have an inauguration ceremony to inaugurate a duly elected president of the...
Okay, now this is interesting right here. This is what the Democrats are doing here is really unbelievable. And you can hear the scheme with Madam Speaker here, Pelosi. Regardless of what he does, we're going to have an inauguration of the duly elected president. So election night comes, Biden with whoever he picks, I think they got 3 or 4 women that they're looking at, all minorities. They're going to declare Biden the winner with their mail-at-home vote scam, right? They're going to go on TV and say he's the winner. And even though when the votes come in, the Electoral College meet and everything, Trump will be the winner, they're going to go by their mail-at-home vote scam and the CNN, MSNBC declaration of who the winner is, and they're planning on having a second inauguration. What I mean is not Trump's second inauguration. They plan on having a counter-inauguration while President Trump's inauguration is going on, where they swear in Joe Biden. If this isn't coup/civil war, I don't know what is. But let's go back, because then she says what they'll do.
And in the interview with Chris Wallace, he did not confirm whether he would leave, whether he would accept the results of the election if he lost. What do you make of that?
Well, that's a lot of question there about coronavirus, what we do about it. But the fact is, whether he knows it yet or not, he will be leaving. Just because he might not want to move out of the White House doesn't mean we won't have an inauguration ceremony to inaugurate a duly elected president of the United States.
See, that's the part right there. They're going to have a counter inauguration. Probably have it in the House of Representatives, since she runs it while Trump is being inaugurated, because the president has to be inaugurated at noon. That's the way it works. So at the very same time, they're going to be inaugurating Biden, right? Swearing Biden in with, I guess, Kamala Harris or someone like that.
Whether he knows it or not, he will be leaving. Just because he might not want to move out of the White House doesn't mean we won't have an inauguration ceremony to inaugurate a duly elected president of the United States. And I'm second in line to the presidency, and just last week I had my regular continuation of government briefing. This might interest you because I say to them, this is never going to happen, God willing, it never will. But there is a process. It has nothing to do with if the certain occupant of the White House doesn't feel like moving and has to be fumigated out of there, because the presidency is the presidency. It's not geography or location. So much for him. I wouldn't spend so much time on it. That's a victory for him, because then we're not talking about your first more important subject, which is what are we going to do to stop this vicious virus?
Okay. So Nancy Pelosi it sounds to me she has a plan for a second inauguration with who she believes will be the duly elected president, which I'm assuming will be Biden, since he's the presumed nominee. And then they're going to go fumigate. What are they going to do? Fumigate Trump out of the White House? It's amazing to me what a free pass Democrats get on whatever it is they say. It sounds like they've been scheming. This is 7 days in May to the infinity. They're never going to... So they're telling us they're not going to recognize his re-election. How could Trump win? Everybody hates Trump, right? I don't know anyone that voted for Trump. That, famous words. All right, let's take our last break of the second hour. And Steve will be joining us as soon as we get our phone system connected. There's a major technical glitch. I cannot receive calls nor make them. And all the buttons on the phone are blinking red to me. So I don't know what's going on here. But we'll try to find out during the break. My apologies. My name is Brian Craig. This is The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. We'll be right back.
Hi, Brian Craig here. We've been telling you on the Steve Kane Show, for coronavirus testing, stop by any lab test now of Coral Springs and any lab test now of Boca. One of our longtime sponsors, Dr. Mitch Matez of the Boca Raton Center for Age Management, went to any lab test now of Boca for coronavirus testing this weekend, and he called in live on the radio to share his experience.
Listen, Brian, I have a great experience to tell you about. I went to any lab test now on Saturday to get COVID-19 tested. And it was awesome. We had a little experience where we had somebody in our close circle that tested positive.
I can't find them.
Days, by the way. Went and had a test. It took 10 days to get the results. We all went into a little bit
I got no phones. I can't get Steve.
So we called up any lab test now. It was about maybe 11:30 in the morning on Saturday. They said, come on, right on over. I was anonymous. I didn't announce myself. We went over there. We got there about noon. We checked in. 2 minutes later, they took us back, did our test. We sat in the waiting room for less than 15 minutes. They brought us back, gave us our results, which were negative, and we were on our way home. And a little shout out to Brittany, the nice young lady who did our test. It was completely painless. It was quick, it was simple, it was easy, and it gave you both the IgM and the IgG antibodies, which tells you if you have the infection now or if you've been exposed to it in the past.
Now, you went to any lab test now?
What's the thing to do?
Yeah, in the Sandalfoot Plaza.
Awesome.
Was
You may have to.
It really was. It was cool.
You may have to.
Easy and simple.
When you make the call for the transfers,
forget the 10-day.
That's remote.
Doctor recommended. Can I say that in the commercial? commercial now.
Can you reboot the phone system over there?
Boca.
I unplugged the phone. That didn't do
It
it.
was really kind of cool, and it was wonderful, and it was easy.
You unplugged the phone system.
I unplugged from the actual phone.
Oh, okay. No, that won't take care of it.
This isn't the Telos up here. There's nothing up here from the phone.
Telos is the fourth box down, yeah?
Personally recommending any lab test now.
Fourth box, this one?
You heard Dr. Mitch Vitez. Any lab test now of Boca is doctor recommended for coronavirus testing. They're located in the Sandalfoot Plaza. That's where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsboro on the east side of 441. Give them a call, 561-237-5009. 561-237-5009.
Do you want to reboot the whole system? Reboot the whole board? Why don't you go?
Not the board, just the phone system.
Well, we could reboot everything.
5983.
No, it won't matter.
It won't matter?
And any lab test now of Coral Springs. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show.
President Trump here.
Okay.
Join Steve Kane and Brian Craig on the Steve Kane Trump 2020 Victory Cruise on board the Celebrity Edge. The cruise will be to celebrate my re-election. Don't be a loser, be a winner, just like me. And join Steve Kane and Brian Craig on the Steve Kane Trump 2020 Victory Cruise.
Thank you, Mr. President.
He doesn't know how to fix it.
Brian Craig, celebrating the victory of President Trump as we sailed December 6th out of Fort Lauderdale on a 7-day Trump 2020 victory cruise. First stop, San Juan, Puerto Rico. Second stop, Tortola, British Virgin Islands. And then St. Martin. Call in at Cruise and Travel Depot, 561-244-5779. 561-244-5779. And join us celebrating the re-election of President Trump. 561-244-5779.
He told you what to do? I'll play another spot as you're talking.
This is Steve Kane for Attorney Barry. Barry did a great job for me and my family.
Thank you.
We needed a revocable
Okay,
voting trust.
they
Listen
just
to
went
one of our
dead?
listeners, Ray,
Yeah.
talk about his experience.
Which
with
one
Barry
is it?
Siegel.
I want to
It's the one with the orange.
And one of the
Okay.
most
Where's that
important things about sponsors is
Fourth box down.
Oh, you said we'll plug it for 10 seconds or 30 seconds?
Yeah. Let the memory clear and it takes about 2 minutes to come back after I plug it in.
Since 1997, and Barry says every 3 years at least you gotta. I called Barry's office because I had a question.
Great interview with
with Loomer, yeah.
The laws are different, and I'm just asking for information for my sister. Now, most people just blow you off, right? Almost
Still doing it.
within a few minutes, Barry himself.
Does he know what causes that? Did I hit something on the phone?
No.
And the answer is very patient.
Sometimes.
It's when I hit the drop button, it started. I had her. I hit the drop button, and then like right after that, it started doing it.
Coincident. It's always been
All right.
resetting the phone system.
They all have that you can trust them, and you know you're getting in fair shape.
You are ready. Call Attorney Barry Siegel right now. Toll free 1-855-FLA-3782. That's 1-855 toll free FLA-3782. Tell them Steve sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back. I apologize for the long breaks. We're got some tech issues we're trying to work out, and I just played some extra commercials to buy us some time to try to fix it. Things are still under being repaired as we speak. So, Steve Kane, you're out there listening. We cannot contact you, and you cannot contact us right now. But as soon as we can, we'll connect with you, Steve, because I'm sure Steve's freaking out right now. But anyway, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show, on the radio since 1977. Okay, so Nancy Pelosi has a plan to have a second inauguration for the person who's the true winner, and then they're going to go fumigate Trump out of the White House and put Biden in, I guess. So they're announcing a coup, which is unheard of. Still doing it. Still doing it. Oh my goodness. See, they don't want to. It's the Laura Loomer. They don't. They're working against Laura Loomer. So then, maybe it has to be unplugged longer. Because why don't we just unplug it till the top of the hour?
Okay.
Because that doesn't seem to be doing it, though.
No.
That does not seem to be doing it. Oh my goodness. Don't you love... I'll tell you the one thing about this that I do that's nice, okay? Anytime there's a live broadcast on any radio station, there's technical glitches all the time. When we were at our own remote studio, I wouldn't be able to do the show at all. It'd be like we'd be done, and then I'd have to spend all day. Now we got like people here, they take care of it. They got the engineer on the line, so they take care of it. So it's nice to have that. So anyway, this thing with Pelosi is insane. I mean, she's out there telling us exactly what they plan on doing. And, that clip has been circulating all over Twitter, all over the internet. Every conservative news site has it. But they really, they talk about the fumigating thing, but they don't focus in on this plan she has to have it to declare Biden the winner and inaugurate him. And we're going to have 2 presidents? Oh, my goodness. The Democrats are trying to start their own confederacy again. Don't put anything past these people. Okay, so then Elizabeth Warren, they're just so consumed with their rage towards President Trump. I mean, it's just beyond imagination. So Elizabeth Warren, a lot of people think, and I think there's a good case to be made for this, a lot of people think Elizabeth Warren is going to be Biden's pick. See, you got to understand, you heard Nancy Pelosi. They have an entire scheme to make sure that Trump is not reelected, right? They got their mail-in vote scheme. They've got this second inaugural plan. And people don't understand. Democrats, the loyal Democrats, they don't think anyone's going to vote for Trump. They hate Trump. They think everybody hates Trump, right? Yeah. I remember when Arnold Schwarzenegger on election night in California, when Arnold Schwarzenegger ran for governor the first time, Steve was on vacation in San Francisco. And I remember Steve called me. He's like, Schwarzenegger's done. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, he's not going to win. I said to Steve, what are you talking about? He says, everyone I've talked to today says they're not voting for him. He's going to lose. I said, Steve, you're in San Francisco. And then Steve said, oh, yeah, all right, you're right. And Schwarzenegger won. Well, that's how Democrats think about Trump in this next election. A lot of people think Elizabeth Warren's going to be the pick. And conservatives blow this off because when it comes to Elizabeth Warren, they think the way that the Democrats think about Trump. Among Democrats, Elizabeth Warren is a rock star. They love Elizabeth Warren as much as we love Trump or Laura Loomer, okay? And they think this is the plan. I've heard a lot of conservatives tell me this, and I think this is very likely the Democrat plan. Nominate Elizabeth Warren as the VP, get Joe Biden elected, and then boom, he resigns, she's the president of the United States. Nope, it's still doing it. Oh my goodness! What if we rebooted the entire system, like the whole board and studio?
No, that's
it won't work.
For the phone.
Okay, because I'd rather do that than not be able to talk to anyone, including our call-in sponsors in the next time. Oh my goodness, this is a mess. This is a mess. But we'll get through this. No, so a lot of people think the plan is for her to become vice president, and a few months in, Joe Biden resigned because of the obvious reasons, and then Elizabeth Warren becomes president of the United States. And Democrats, they love Elizabeth Warren, like I say, as much as we love Trump. That is a very, very legitimate viewpoint to make. Oh, hold on. Is that working now? Oh, they're working! The phones are working! They're working, I think. Yeah, that's awesome. Oh, man. They look as if they're working.
Yeah.
That's great. Let me see.
That was part of the boot cycle.
Oh, okay. All right. Awesome. Isn't that nice? We have technical problems, and I just have to get through that little segment. I don't have to worry about it. The other people are fixing it. I love it. All right, listen. Let me take our break for the top of the hour, and I'll give Steve a call during the break, and he'll be joining us in the next hour. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll be right back.
This is Lori
probably Steve.
And I want to tell you about Brighton Dental Care. I just had a lot of work
Steve
done,
Kane Show.
and I avoided going to the dentist for a lot of years because I was afraid of the cost. But I went to Brighton Dental for my free consultation, which, by the way, he offers to all Steve Kane listeners. I had 2 cavities. I needed a crown on top and a crown on the bottom. If I were a horse, they would have put me down. So I scheduled my appointment for the next Saturday because Brighton Dental has Saturday appointments available, and they saved me a ton of money. And I will be a patient for life.
Yeah. Yeah,
Don't
it's very
let
frustrating.
cost stop you from taking care
All
of
right,
your teeth.
so did you hear the thing with
Brian Dental
Loomer?
gives Steve Kane listeners incredible
Okay.
discounts on all dental procedures, just like they gave me. Prices are so reasonable, you don't have to worry about the cost. So call Brighton Dental today at 954-922-4633. That's 954-922-4633. You can visit them at brightondental.com and tell them Lori Kane sent you.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your tax? Probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE.
All righty. Third and final hour has begun. Everything is working. We've got Steve Kane on the line. Hey, Steve. Uh-oh. Steve Kane. I think it's working. I talked to you during the break. Oh, my goodness. Hello, Steve Kane. Yes, okay. I was worried that we had more problems. Good morning, Steve. How you doing? Oh, my goodness. Earth to Steve. Earth to Steve. Earth to Steve. Okay, we got the call, Steve. We're going to call today's episode. You know, we're going to call the name of the show. We're going to change the name of the show just for today. Instead of the Steve Kane Show, let's call this Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. How about that? All right. No, good morning. Oh, I don't think things are working. Let me try one more time. I'm going to do this. This is really angry. Let me see here. Let's call. I'm going to call Steve right here. We're calling Steve right here. Oh, no. Went to voicemail. No, this is a professional broadcast. I know what people are saying. But it is. I know it doesn't sound that way. All right, Steve. Can you hear me now? Okay, hold on. All right. Are you there, Steve? Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Oh, my goodness. This newfangled technology. The telephone. Oh, my gosh. No, I was just telling people that this is a professional broadcast. People may be confused this morning, but it is. How's it going? Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
All night watching the riot.
You know, I love how the mayor of Chicago, Beetlejuice, she's upset that the gun violence is going to be stopped by the president. She doesn't want it to happen, apparently.
These people are really... Nobody's going to convince me that America is going to vote to put a Biden administration in. In fact, did you see Biden change his position?
What was he actually? Was he facing the camera this time? What do you mean change his position?
Biden has reversed himself on whether the government about firing the police.
Oh, what's his position?
What do they call it? Repositioning the police? Or
yeah.
Whatever the word was he used. Which must mean the heat must be incredible for him to...
on the defund movement. Well, they're still doing the defund movement. They're just changing the name. Like, remember, climate change used to be global warming. They changed the name.
No. He clarified his position, and he has come out for not firing the police.
I wonder if that's a real change in position for the campaign, or if he's just out of it.
Oh, it's a real change for the campaign, and to go against those left-wing thugs, which he has on this issue, the pressure must have been incredible.
Redirecting funds is what they call it, is what they've been redirecting.
He's not for redirecting anymore. He doesn't want to do anything to lessen the police.
Well, I know this is an unpleasant thing to do, but there are more unpleasant things to do than this. You could, watch a little bit of MSNBC during their prime time, in particular Joy Reid at night, because, these federal agents, that are being sent to these cities? On MSNBC, do you know what they're calling them? I'm not making this up. What do you think they're calling them?
Gestapo.
Close. Trump's secret police. Okay, even though they're in uniforms and everything, but they call them Trump's secret police, and they show video of them arresting people and putting them in their cars that are unmarked. So what they're saying on MSNBC is Trump's secret police are arresting people, putting them in unmarked vehicles, and taking them to undisclosed locations.
They're in outer space, but fortunately, the country, I hope, is not. And that could end up even being bigger than the virus. Yesterday was a good day for us.
Every day's a good day while Trump's president. You know what's going on here with this roundup, because they in Chicago he's sending 150 federally, and he hasn't said what their mission is. I have an idea of what it is. If you remember, about 3 weeks ago, the Attorney General was talking about the Antifa leaders. I think this is an Antifa roundup. I think they're sending them in, picking up Antifa in these cities around the country. That's what I think.
True. There's very little talk about the Fed, infiltrating that organization, or that there's a major investigation going on. I don't know what that means. Whether it means there is no investigation, or whether they're just keeping it well.
No, I think it's concealed. I think they picked up a few people here and there, and they named names, and they're going into these places, rounding up more Antifa. I think they're specifically there for Antifa.
Theory.
It's a theory. Yeah. I was talking during our technical snafus about Pelosi yesterday having a second inauguration. I mean,
what a story!
I mean, everyone's playing the clip, but they're not really listening to what she said. She's telling us what their plan is. It's a PR plan. They're going to have CNN and MSNBC declare the Democrat the winner, and on Inauguration Day, they're going to swear in their president.
Well, you're assuming they're fixing the ballot?
Well, they're trying to with the vote at home racket.
Like they did with Nixon?
Well, they're doing a very good job confusing people. They're acting as if this vote at home thing is absentee balloting, and that's not the case. Absentee balloting is you request an absentee ballot from your local supervisor of elections. They ask you why, right? And then they mail it to you. What they want to do is mail a ballot out to everyone who's registered to vote. Okay, so if you're on the voting rolls, you get a ballot mailed to you, and who knows where those ballots are going, and how many thousands are going to the same address, and who knows who fills them out. It's not absentee voting. It's not that at all.
No, I understand that. Well, there's so many ways they can fix that, and I don't trust these guys further than we can throw them. We have to hope that it. What did we used to say? I had a great saying.
Canes come in all colors?
Yes, that's one.
That's what. Figures don't lie, but liars can figure. I've got all the Kane-isms. Get off my phone, you stupid jerk. I'm thinking of all your catchphrases.
That's your point.
Well, you'll think of. Now, listen. Were you listening? You probably weren't. Were you listening in the first hour today?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you heard the thing about the Al Jazeera reporter?
Yes.
Okay. Let me play this. It's what she said. I can hear it. You can't hear it? The people heard it. What do you think she said?
I didn't hear anything.
Oh my goodness! You weren't listening then. You weren't. All right. Okay. All right. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
Yes. A couple things. Your buddy Woody Johnson is involved in a violation of the emoluments code.
I don't even know who that is. Woody. I know who Woody Hayes was. Who's Woody Johnson?
The owner of the Jets is now the ambassador to Ireland, I know Steve came.
Yeah, exactly. The ambassador to Ireland. I don't even know who Woody Johnson is. I guess I know now. Exactly. What is he guilty of?
Well, he wants to bring the British open.
No. What is he guilty of?
Violating the emoluments clause.
You can't even say it. The what clause?
The emoluments clause.
I don't think that's very good articulation there. What is that? What does that word mean?
It means using your office for your own profit.
Okay, so who's profiting?
Well, they bring the British Open to Scotland. Trump owns the terminal.
Oh, come on.
Are you kidding? Okay, so they want. I know the story. So the story is, which has not been confirmed by the president, okay, that the ambassador to Ireland was instructed by the president to see if he could get the British Open played at Trump's resort in Scotland. That's the story, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what's wrong with that? What could be more exciting? What could be more exciting than having a major worldwide sporting event on a golf course owned by the President of the United States? I think that's pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah, don't you?
Asking your ambassador.
Oh, first off, I don't know if I believe that story, but even if it's true, it sounds pretty cool to me. They should have the U.S. Open at Doral.
You guys are really amazing.
Do you know why? Do you know why there's never been a professional? Do you know why there's never been a professional golf tournament at a president's golf course before?
Why?
Because you've never had a president that's owned one. In fact, all right, take care. In fact, the last remember, Bill Clinton didn't even own a house. So I don't know. Al used to be a good caller, Steve, a long time ago.
Yeah, he has definitely deteriorated, no question of that.
I don't know what happened to him. Trump? I guess so. I guess so. I don't know. It's pretty... I miss good liberal callers, but there just really aren't too many decent liberal callers anymore.
You've beaten them all up.
I think they've been discouraged by Trump. If Trump was losing, they'd be all over the place. Like I remember when Obama got elected, they used to call and laugh. They laughed at us on every day for 6 months. They'd call in and laugh. Obama's winning, then Obama won. But if they thought Trump was losing, we would be hearing from them. They'd be laughing at us.
I'm telling you, yesterday with the announcement about the vaccine and everything, it was a turnaround day.
Yeah, I heard a gasp in the press room when they announced the vaccine was around the corner. They didn't like that at all.
I could bet.
Yeah, they don't want it to end. It's just like I was telling you yesterday, with Fauci throwing out the first pitch, does he look like a guy that wants this to end? Of course not. Now he's throwing out the first pitch at a baseball game?
Oh, just for his new job.
As what?
Well, I don't know.
I wouldn't want to throw the first pitch out at any game. I'd be so... Now, he won't have the crowd there that you would normally have, but it'll be carried live. Do you know CNN didn't carry Trump yesterday?
I just found that out this morning.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
And they carried Biden live, but they didn't carry the president.
That's outrageous.
You think CNN and MSNBC will carry live Fauci's first pitch?
Oh.
I hope he blows it. I hope he doesn't make it.
One of the important things to worry about. What do you think of what happened in Chicago yesterday?
The funeral shootout?
By the way, 17 people shot, and to the best that I've been able to pick up watching Fox, there were no deaths. Did you see any?
No deaths? Really?
I think they need to take some target practice.
What was that? You know what? I saw the story. It's being reported everywhere, but I didn't hear what the motivation was. Was it gang related?
The guy that was buried was a member of another gang, so they went to
his buddies went to the funeral to take out the people who had shot him.
Oh, because all the leaders are there.
It's a gang deal.
You know, I remember it. Bad shots, I guess. I mean, that's, well, they could still die from their wounds. You know, that's unheard. I didn't hear that it was 17 shot, no deaths yet. Wow.
But I heard, unless something has happened, you know, since the...
You know, do you? We don't really know what these 150 federal agents are doing in Chicago because they haven't specifically said. But, you know, gun crimes are federal because, you know, these people that are doing the shooting, almost in every instance, if not everyone, but probably 99% of the time, at least 99% of the time, the guns are illegally owned by these people, right? They've been illegally purchased. They're too young to even own a gun in a lot of cases. You've got to be 21 to legally own a handgun. These are all federal. I wonder, do you think there's a chance that 150 federal agents will be able to clean up the gun crime, gun violence in Chicago?
Well, it'd be a start. Better than what's going on now.
Well, it doesn't sound like they put these people in jail. It doesn't seem like they're even interested in putting them in jail.
No, that doesn't exist anymore.
Well, you don't want people to get coronavirus, do you? You can't send these people to jail.
Well, that's what caused it, I guess, to begin with. Made them change the law, gave them the rationale for changing the law.
Well, I'll tell you, I was laughing at him the other day when he said this, but Richie the bus driver, he called in and talked about federalizing local law enforcement. Wasn't that Richie that mentioned that the other day? I think it was Richie called in the other day with that. And I read an article yesterday about that very same thing, and one of the main credible news sources that these federal agents may federally deputize some local law enforcement in these cities that they're going into to work alongside of them. So I don't know if they were listening to Richie's call or if brilliant minds think alike, but Richie, the bus driver, was right about that.
Well, they better do something because I got to tell you, it gets worse every day.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, listen, let's take our break. And when we get back, there's a lot more to talk about. All right, I'm Brian Craig. Steve Kane, of course, here with us. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
We are chatting today with Frank, the owner of two magnificent Ace Hardware stores. One, Deerfield Beach, 365 South Federal Highway, about a quarter of a mile south of Hillsborough on the west side of Federal Highway.
Good morning, everyone. If you're just joining us.
Ace Hardware, located at 232 Commercial Boulevard, half a block west of A1A in Lauderdale by the sea. Well, one of the things I noticed when I first walked into Ace Hardware is that you carry such a wide variety of the big brands all under one roof. It's astounding.
That's Ace's new practice. It's called Best Brands. And under one roof, we have major categories. Let me give you an example of two. Yeti coolers, Craftsman hand tools, Milwaukee hand tools, Steel power equipment, Benmore paint, Weber grills, Napoleon grills, Traeger grills, Big Green Egg. We are a platinum dealer. We have the largest selection of Green Egg products, all under one roof. All with people that are experienced and show you how to use these products.
There are lots of Ace Hardware stores, but there are only two that are advertising with the Steve Kane Show. We're talking about the Deerfield location, a quarter of a mile south of Hillsborough Boulevard on the west side of Federal, and of course the Beach Ace Hardware located
not
at
if it's licensed. They're not licensed.
Commercial Boulevard, a half block west of A1A in Lauderdale by the sea. Very, very special locations. Be sure to mention Steve Kane sent you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search.
All right, welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian. Steve Kane, of course, here. It is the Steve Kane Show, and, you know, I'm looking outside. The weather's pretty rough, and I just got a bad feeling about hurricane season. We're in hurricane season, and Ace Hardware Deerfield, Beach Ace Hardware, have incredible deals and an incredible selection on generators for your home. I have one, and if you don't have one, head over to Deerfield Ace Hardware or Beach Ace Hardware and get one. They come in a variety of sizes, and you'll feel much safer knowing that if your power goes out, you have a generator. All right, Steve, you with us? Beto's back. And yesterday, Beto gave an interview, and he said the Texas GOP, the Texas Republican Party, want Latinos and African Americans to die. Yeah. Well, because they're not doing the right thing involving COVID-19. He wants everything shut down. He wants everything in Texas shut down except the border, right? But just yesterday, the party that Beto says wants African Americans to die, did you see who they just made the chairperson of the Texas Republican Party?
Who?
Alan West.
Wow.
Yeah, so he left. I didn't realize until not too long ago he left Florida and went to Texas. And he was recently in a pretty bad motorcycle accident. And he did well, and now he's the chairman of the Texas Republican Party. So I think Beto picked a bad day to say that the Republicans want blacks to die, since they just made a black man the head of the party out there. Oh, my goodness. All right, let's take some calls. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, Steve.
Richie the bus driver.
How you doing? Yeah, hey, listen, you need the golden microphone in your bedroom when they set you up. It'll be your next Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah.
Well, Rush is going to be around for quite a while. He sounded doing a great job.
I want to just throw something out to you. You know, I'm a sports fanatic, and now I'm down to just golf. Baseball did the same crap the other day. They're going to be taking the kneeling. So I wonder if they're going to kneel at the national anthem before Fauci throws the first ball out or after. Question. I won't watch baseball either.
Well, this is the thing. I'm going to be watching. What was that, Steve?
What now? It's baseball. It's good. The worst is going to be basketball. But they've got all these little things. I can't breathe over all the uniforms. That makes the game.
Well, I got to tell you something. I can't breathe wearing a damn mask everywhere. It's getting pretty rough.
Brian brought up Nancy Pelosi. I think Brian missed something there.
Oh, okay.
Nancy Pelosi basically said, the presidency is the presidency, but then she said we have to throw the occupants out of the White House.
Fumigate them out.
Occupant. The word occupant, she never accepted him as the president of the United States. So obvious.
No, she's planning on inaugurating Biden.
Trump the first time.
That's right.
Except for the second.
Well, you know what? Let's get that. Let's say he wasn't the president the first time. That means he gets 2 more terms.
Exactly.
So let's go with that.
And then I got to say this, Steve. You know about talk show hosts and people on television. I'm going to bring something up because it's got me crazy. I watched the 5. I watched that 12 o'clock deal. Juan Williams has to be the worst I've ever seen in my life. This guy is living in an alternative universe.
He's the Joyce Kaufman of Fox News.
What does that mean? Terminally boring?
It means that he's a token liberal.
Well, I think they should bring in Chris Matthews, since he's a free agent now. I would love to see him over there on the 5.
Because Juan Williams, with his eyes and his facial expressions, he's such an idiot. And no matter what,
he was hired. They needed somebody to be the liberal on that panel. And how would you like that to support those liberal positions every day? I feel bad for him.
Well, even Leo Terrell had to support liberal positions until he realized, hey, this is ridiculous already. I give Leo Terrell a great deal of kudos for switching, and he's out there bragging he's going to vote for Trump.
You should have seen him in the old days. He was a wild man.
I wish I would have. I hope you get him on the radio, Brian. I really do.
I am trying. I have not heard back from him. I have been desperately trying. Everyone's trying to get him now. I haven't heard back from him. But I am desperately trying. And he actually, yesterday, was coming out in favor of the... I never thought I'd hear Leo Terrell pro-police.
Human being that sees what's going on today. What happened in Chicago at the what do you call it, the Columbus statue, when the police, what the attack? How can decent people vote for these Democrats when they know this is listen, I have to tell you this, Venezuela, real fast, has the government has the same kind of Antifa that are out there, and the people are afraid to even march on the streets because the illegal gangsters for the government have the guns. You get the same thing with the Democratic Party here. I mean, these people are rioting. They rioted the day that President Trump was sworn. They were tearing up Washington. This is the same group.
Yeah. You know, I was just reading by the way, thanks for the call, Richie. I was just reading a story on the Drudge Report, Stephen. There's an upcoming 11,000 layoffs from the mainstream media are coming. So this shutdown of the economy that they've been pushing for, they're shutting themselves out of business. Yeah, 11,000 mainstream media layoffs from every media form, television, print, internet, everything. 11,000 mainstream media layoffs. They're going to start to feel it.
Yeah, I love it.
I know. See, you don't seem bothered too much by this, but there these crackdowns that they're doing in South Florida with these coronavirus lockdowns. You know, a lot of local cities, like Broward County is fighting with local cities. I was reading an article today in the local news. The county government, with all Democrats, doesn't think that the city governments throughout the county are doing enough so far as reducing crowd sizes and things all over the place. And the county is going to start going into the local cities with code enforcement now to harass businesses. You know, it's amazing that the economy is still alive when you have Democrats working so hard to keep it shut down.
I think it's another week we get the next financial report. That's a big one.
I think people are fed up. I know when I leave the studio, it's like rush hour time. It's 9 o'clock in the morning, we get off the air, and the roads are packed. People are not, I think people are fed up with the Democrats keeping everything shut down. I really do. I know I am, but I think people really are. People. It's not just that people want to work; they got to work. And I would imagine parents are really in a panic right now about the school year, because how can they work if they can't send their kids to school?
Well, that's what it's all about.
Steve Kane
Keeping
Show.
the parents from working, injuring the economy.
Steve Kane Show.
That's why they're doing it.
No, absolutely. I mean, in Dade County, they're shutting down summer camps. You know, and parents, most families, both parents work. God help the single parents out there. And, you know, they need school so that they can work. And these Democrats, they just don't get it. By the way, so you got to tell everyone, Wings Plus Sample Road, speaking of working, is open for business for both takeout and dining in. And you can dine inside Wings Plus on Sample Road. They also have dining outside. And Brian over at Wings Plus, Steve, was talking to us about their fresh salads, that the fresh salads are very, very, very good and becoming very, very popular at Wings Plus. Yeah. And also, everything at Wings Plus is homemade. Everything. Nothing comes out of a can. And the clam chowder over there, by the way, you gotta have. And also, now, I rarely stray away from the wings, because Wings Plus on Sample Road has the best wings I've ever had in my life, and I'm a big wing guy, and I get one of two. I either get the medium hot wings, or I get the lemon pepper that you love so much. But if I ever stray away from the wings, my first go-to are the boar's head meat sandwiches they have. They're overstuffed. The roast beef, the boar's head roast beef sandwich is my favorite, but they have incredible boar's head meat sandwiches. Now listen, masks are required to go inside, because that's the rules and regulations these days. So bring your mask with you, and social distancing in the dining room and outside is in place, but you can actually not just carry out at Wings Plus Sample Road, you can eat inside or outside. Although it's raining right now, you might want to eat inside today, and of course they're open for lunch and open for dinner. Wings Plus on Sample Road is about a mile west of University Drive on the south side of Sample in Coral Springs. Wings Plus, the Sample Road location, and make sure you tell them you heard about them on the Steve Kane Show. All right, let's take our break for the bottom of the hour and come back with Richard Pearl right after this.
5.3 FM, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and AM 1470. WWNN Pompano Beach is the Florida Money Talk Network.
Have you ever picked up a towel?
Steve Kane Show. Oh, hey, Don. What do you want to talk about? Okay.
6-piece towel set that includes 2 bath towels, 2 hand towels, and 2 washcloths. They come in a variety of colors.
Oh, that's good. Oh, great. Awesome.
Another set free, but you gotta use the promo code.
Yeah, stick with that. Okay, stick with that. Okay, hold on.
Click on the radio listener specials. My Pillow products come with a 10-year warranty and a 60-day money-back guarantee. To get the buy one get one free on the 6-piece set off My Pillow towels, just go to MyPillow.com, click the radio listener special, and enter the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout. Or call them directly, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. That's MyPillow.com, promo code K-A-N-E, Kane.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for
All right, welcome back, everyone. You're listening to the Steve Kane Radio Show. Time to check in with Richard Pearl from Simply Natural. Richard Pearl, good morning.
Good morning. So I thought today I would talk about something different. I'm so bored with the coronavirus and the talking heads and the nonsensical positions. I just heard the FDA commissioner come on and basically say nothing, but it sounded like he said something, but he actually said nothing. And I'm just tired of all this. So I thought I'd talk about something more relevant, things that have long-term effects on people, things that they should be more concerned about than the virus. That has to do with, even just a simple thing of heart disease or high blood pressure. That kills most people in America, that and cancer. And both of them have to do with inflammation. And there's so many things that bring down inflammation that matter in your life. And even this virus, of course, is an inflammatory virus, too. So, people aren't looking at their daily stuff. So let me just give you something that matters. So there's a product called astaxanthin. It's in a lot of formulations. Back in the day, I was the first to carry it in Florida, and it lowers C-reactive protein. C-reactive protein is a barometer of inflammation, but it's tied to heart disease and cancer. When that number starts shooting up, you got a problem. It's a very strong indicator. And if you take things like astaxanthin, and it comes, like I said, I have a product called Matrix, which is phenomenal, and I have straight astaxanthin. It helps with so many different areas. It helps with your eyes. It helps with your arteries. It brings down inflammation throughout the body. And those are things that matter. I also have a product, a lot of people are familiar with plaque off, but I have something that's even better. It's called Arteriozyme. And it's a professional product, and it dissolves plaque in the artery. And it does it without EDTA, so it's not hard on the kidneys. So just to use an example, if someone were to take, astaxanthin, and they were to take the Arteriozyme, they would help their arteries, and they would help bring down inflammation. It's a more important thing for most people's lives, and unlike the virus, it's something that has long-term detrimental damage to a person's life if they don't do something about it. The virus comes and it goes. Most people get over it. Most people don't even know they have it, and the numbers are fudged, and we know it's political. The truth, the things like heart disease and cancer are inflammatory disorders, and those things have to be addressed. And so just taking these two things would help with them.
Well, listen, out there in the audience, plaque off is something so many of you remember well from Barry's Vitamins, and Richard Pearl at Simply Natural has something that's even better and more effective than plaque off. So listen, give him a call. His store is open 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m., 954 741-4045. And the store's Simply Natural is located in Sunrise, just north of Sunset Strip on the east side of University Drive. And today on our radio stations, it's Wednesday, that means 11 a.m., Richard Pearl's radio show, Pearls of Health, will be live on the radio on all of our stations and iHeartRadio at 11 a.m. All right, Richard Pearl, we will talk tomorrow. Great, take care. All right. Steve, you with us? Yes, you are. Okay. By the way, your studio is halfway completed. I talked to the engineer last night. So, the Steve Kane at-home broadcast radio studio is nearly completed. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Is this me?
Sounds like you. Steve Kane Show.
Okay. I have never seen...
Hey.
I'm 91. The Democrats are so... They have such closed minds. They will not listen to any other stations like yours or anybody who has anything to say that's good or what the Republicans have done, what they've accomplished, what the president has done for this country. Everything is... You got to listen to their station, to their way of thinking. They look or listen.
Well, you know what that tells me? That tells me that they know Trump is winning and Trump is right because they don't even want to be exposed to another opinion.
I have to agree with you wholeheartedly. They're just totally closed minds.
Yeah, that's right. All right, hey, listen, I appreciate the call. Are you with us, Steve? Because I'm hearing some noises. Did I lose you? Okay, I can hear you. Okay. Good morning. You're on the radio.
Hello, Brian.
Yes.
Hi, this is Jack from Pompano Beach. How you doing?
All right, Jack in Pompano Beach.
Okay, I'm a resident of Panama City, Republic of Panama. I come up here every so often and enjoy your show very much. I'm wondering if I can get your email because I have a video I'd like you to see about George Floyd at the Judge Judy show and what he had to say. I think you'll find...
Judge Judy? He was on Judge Judy? Come on.
Yeah, I want to send you the video.
The courtroom judge show? What? Come, are you sure? Or go to SteveKaneShow.com. You can email us there. SteveKaneShow.com. All right. George Floyd on Judge Judy? That's very strange.
George Floyd?
Yeah, I'd have to see that to believe it. George Floyd, yeah.
The guy that was killed?
Yes.
Excuse me.
I would find that hard. I find that hard to believe.
Well, we'll find out.
I guess we will. I'll watch it when he's... But SteveKaneShow.com, you can email us there and always contact us there with anything you have to send us. No, I think that press conference yesterday with Trump was pretty damn good.
Definitely a turnaround. Do you think, I was going to ask you, do you think he has any say over how quickly they get this thing approved?
Get what approved?
Well, the vaccine. In other words,
I'm
sure he talks to the companies and the people that own the manufacturers. You think he gave them a bonus for getting it done by...
Well, there seems to be competition. We've got a vaccine they're working on in America. There's a UK vaccine, and then the Chinese have one.
There's several.
Yeah.
Several different...
and whoever gets theirs to market first makes the most money.
Yeah, although they've got a deal that they're not going to make a profit on it.
Yeah, right. No profit. Yeah, right. You buy that?
They want to get back their expenses, but they're not going to make a profit. They're trying to make a profit.
Yeah, right.
Make it affordable for everybody. How are they going to... They get a vaccine, now they're going to tell people they can't have...
Well, they don't have to mark it up much to make a profit. Because everyone's got to take it. I mean, they tried to jam him up, though, in the press conference yesterday when they were talking about the Chinese vaccine. Would you take it? Would you support that one? And they were hoping he'd say no, and he didn't give them the answer and I liked when they said, where's Dr. Birx and Fauci? And he says, Birx is back behind the door. That was so smart not to bring them out.
No.
Especially Fauci.
Yeah, he's not one of my favorite people either.
Well, no, they mess everything up. And he was very smart. He kept the press conference short. It wasn't 2.5 hours. It was like 25, 30 minutes.
Direction again. That's good.
Well, he took, Ari Fleischer, I think, who's on Fox all the time, is if he's not advising the president, Trump's taking his advice that he gives when he's a guest.
I'm sure he's an advisor of the president.
Well, Ari Fleischer said a few weeks back that the president should keep his press conferences to about 25, 30 minutes. And McEnany, every one of her press conferences, it's like 25 minutes on the dot, and Trump's yesterday was about that. And I think the press conference went really well. It was not what they were hoping for.
Did you watch any of Fox last night?
Not in the prime time, no.
Watch any of Sean?
No.
I'm kind of falling asleep to it, And he starts again, and they're talking about the killings that night. And I'm listening to Sean. He's going on about his mother again as a prison warden, and then he's going with the karate. The same 6 lines. Why doesn't somebody rise him up? I mean, I'm sure I'm not the only one in the world that's aggravated by that.
There's 2 possibilities why no one wises Sean Hannity up. One is the people that work for him are afraid to tell him something that he may not want to hear. That's one possibility.
Like that kind of a boy.
The other possibility is they hate him and they're sabotaging him.
Yeah.
So neither one's good.
It's beyond embarrassing. They're talking about the people being killed, 17 people killed and all that, and he still worked in about his brother, the prison warden. He did them all in a row. The prison warden.
What does that have to do with the conversation, the prison warden mom?
Nothing. That's what's so bizarre about it.
He knows about prisons because his mom was a warden?
Well, how his family is tuned into the legal system from every possible aspect.
Oh, please. My dad was a guard. Maybe I can inject that into every conversation.
Is he still alive?
Yeah, he was there. He was a guard for a while. He was a guard in a really at a maximum security prison. So it's pretty rough. Pretty rough. It was the one in Belglade, which is.
Every time you're on the air.
Well, I can model myself after Hannity. I can take some karate lessons. Yeah, who was big into karate was Dirk Diggler. Karate, I think karate lessons are nonsense, fake. I've seen a lot of street fights in my day. I've never seen anyone use karate. Everyone's always swinging.
They just use a gun.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you have ever seen any confrontation in public, there's either a weapon involved or punching involved. I've never seen anyone outside of a movie use karate. I've never seen any leg sweeps or kicks or anything. I think karate lessons are fake. I don't think they do anything. I mean, my daughter took karate for years.
They're great for kids.
It's for kids. It's for kids. Yeah. Have you ever seen anyone use karate in real life outside of a movie? I don't think so.
I'm sure they do.
You know what I would like to see Hannity. That's what I'd like to see Hannity do. I'd like to see Hannity do a special Fox News report on self-defense with karate. And if he's so good at karate, why does he have that concealed weapons license? Bruce Lee never needed a gun.
Oh, that's true.
So why doesn't he surrender his firearms license? He knows karate. Sean Hannity, he doesn't need that. If somebody comes at him with a gun, I'm sure there's a karate move to knock the gun out of their hand.
From what you've read, and then there's a column, is he rumored to have resituated with another woman yet?
Yeah, a woman that works at Fox. I've forgotten her name. If anybody knows, call. She denies it, but they say that this one woman was doing her Fox show from his house, either in Long Island. Now, yeah, I don't remember which one it was. She's not one of the real super famous ones. But karate, I would imagine if there was a street fight and somebody knew karate, I would think the untrained street fighter would win. It's all and someone like Hannity is taking very expensive lessons in New York City. The karate instructor, if Hannity didn't win and couldn't flip the guys and do everything, he'd stop taking the lessons, the overpriced lessons, right, and move on to somebody else. So he looks like an idiot. Yeah.
It amazes me that nobody does anything.
Well, we do. We're saying it.
I was wondering that the other day. I wonder if any of these critiques, I don't like to view them as criticisms, we're only trying to help. But I wonder if any of that gets back to him.
Steve Kane Show. Hey. Well, I do know that people that are connected listen to this program. I hear from people, and I know certain people do listen. So what I'd like to see is Hannity do a segment on Hannity of him doing his karate. I want to see him break the boards. I want to see him do all that. You know, if this was like during the days of Bruce Lee, Bruce Lee instructed people like Chuck Norris and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Now, if he was being instructed by somebody like that, that'd be different. But I just have a suspicion he's got one of these fancy, overpriced Manhattan instructors. I don't think it... All right, look who we have. Steve, it's time for the Gold Report. William Youngerman's on the line.
Can't wait to hear it. I've been waiting all night for the Gold Report. William, you're there.
Yes, indeed. How are you today?
I'm fine, but I'm betting the market's going to have a little sell-off.
Well, it hasn't happened yet, Steve. The market is raging ahead, setting a new nine-year high today. Yesterday, we saw gold close up $23.70 at $1,841.40. Silver, the big mover, up $1.43 yesterday, closing at $21.31. Platinum outshining them all, up $35 yesterday at $876. Both silver and platinum are experiencing huge shortages in these two commodities, and people are scrambling to try to find products to fill orders. Palladium up $41 yesterday at $2,042, and the continued rally continues. Overnight, we see gold hitting $1,865 the ounce on the high so far. Right now, trading at $1,853.30. That's up $1,853.30. That's up $11.90 right now. But as I said, we've been up over $25 at one point this morning. Silver currently at $22.43. That's up $1.12. Overnight, we saw a high on silver at $23.10. Platinum up right now $3 at $879 the ounce. The high so far overnight was $901 on platinum. So while we do have a little bit of a sell-off after these major rallies, any dip still a great buying opportunity. Palladium up $20 right now at $2,072. So again, gold experiencing a good rally, but still under our 2011 high that we saw, with gold hitting at that time about $19 and silver at that time hitting around $44 the ounce. So silver is still about half of what it was in 2011, giving us a great buying opportunity if you can find any. And platinum, very reasonable. And gold, I say still under the 2011 high.
Oh, that's amazing. Listen, give William Youngerman a call at 1-800-327-5010. 1-800-327-5010. The address is 150 East Palmetto Park Road in Boca. That's just east of US 1 Federal Highway on the south side of Palmetto Park Road. And online, WilliamYoungerman.com. William Youngerman, we'll talk tomorrow. Wow, yeah, that's something. I think this is the biggest week we've had in the metals since William Youngerman's been with us. Yeah, I know. That's absolutely amazing. And I remember gold was just over 400 when he joined us. It was like 425 or something. Yeah, and look at what it's at now. That's crazy. It's awesome. I know we got a lot of happy people out there. Oh, man. I got to say this. This is absolutely amazing because people have been contacting me off the air about this, and it's Ed Jr. and Sr. over at Champagne Automotive Repair. They've worked on my car, Steve's car, my daughter's car. They have done incredible work. My Ford Explorer is driving showroom new. And, you know, one of the things, Steve, about Champagne Automotive Repair, because of the age and the mileage on my car, I told you there's 3 or 4 times I was going to call the junkyard to come pick up the car. And now I'm driving it every day, and it drives showroom new. When you have a car that's older with high mileage, you know, you've got to weigh, is it worth getting repaired, right? You know what I mean? Is the repair going to be too much money? Is it worth being repaired? And that's one of the things that stopped me from getting the car repaired in the past until we found Champagne Automotive Repair. Their prices are so reasonable. It was more than worth the cost of the repair to have my Explorer on the road driving showroom new. They do it all too. They do from oil changes to transmission repair, AC work. Look at what's, you know, these hot days. Give Champagne Automotive Repair a call. They're in Boca, 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101, and make sure you mention you heard about them on the radio. Oh man, I'm so glad that we found them, I must tell you. All right, well, welcome back, everyone. So this, I think what we're going to find, and I saw one Republican, I can't remember which one it was, one of the ones that's not a never-Trumper. If anybody knows who said this, let me know. But one of the Republicans yesterday, Huckabee comes to mind, but I don't think it was Huckabee, said that Trump's making a mistake sending the federal agents into Chicago because he's going to take the blame for trouble that happens from this point forward.
I think that's true. That's true.
No, and it's really amazing to me when you have, you know, Chicago is more dangerous than the old towns in the Wild Wild West. It really is. I mean, you know, they call it Chirac in the world of hip hop, from Iraq, Chirac. I mean, it's a dangerous place, and you would think that the mayor of Chicago would be. Listen, I don't agree with the president. I don't agree with his policies, but I want to thank him for trying to stop the bloodshed on our streets. And it's the total. I cannot believe that we are seeing a mayor of a city that has a bloodbath every other night, it seems lately, is upset that they're going to have backup to stop the violence.
You see her last night in the midst of all this shooting stuff? They had some film cuts of her. She looked like she's not all that.
Well, that's true. She should be happy though, right? They're coming to stop the gun violence.
No. You forget who her constituency is.
Well, her constituency aren't the gangbangers. They don't vote.
Oh, I'm not.
Really?
I don't know about that.
I wonder, and I mean this. I wonder if the gun violence in Chicago. I mean, this shooting at the funeral, 65 over the weekend. Is the gun violence worse in Chicago today than it was during Al Capone and Prohibition? Yeah, because I know we got all the movies and the Untouchables, you know, the TV show and all that, so we really don't know. I would say that it's probably worse in that I think there's more people being shot. See, you know, these guys didn't want...
the weapons that Al Capone used, if you cast your mind back to the movies, were like automatic weapons.
Yeah, the Tommy guns. They were military issue.
They did a lot more damage than.
Yeah, but they weren't targeting. But the people they shot. This is a lot of innocents get. They weren't targeting babies. They weren't shooting children. Not that none never died, but most of the time you find it's innocents. You find children. You find middle schoolers, high schoolers, even babies. But I'm telling you, I bet you there are more murders per year in Chicago today than back then during the Capone Prohibition era. I'm telling you. I don't know if there's a way to find that out. I'll do some Googling and see if anybody's looked into that. That would be a very powerful statistic if it's true. And I suspect it may be. And, de Blasio, this guy, he's playing to his base, so what he's doing, I guess they approve of. They've got so much violent crime going on in the city, and he's put more than a dozen officers to protect that Black Lives Matter graffiti in the street in front of Trump Tower.
Well, did you hear the latest with de Blasio? There was an encampment down by Wall Street, a homeless city, one of those
yeah.
they had out west.
Yeah.
And de Blasio announced that they had no plans to remove it, and within 4 hours, the police sent the police down there and they cleared the whole place out.
Yeah. Really? Oh, I didn't see that.
Clean up, yep.
That's great. That's great. And I'm sure they hosed it down with the fire trucks after to clean up all the filth. Our governor in Florida has ordered an investigation into these government testing sites where they've had positive results on people that weren't tested. Remember, we got a couple calls at the beginning of the week. I think it was Monday. We got a call from a lady whose kids went. They filled out the intake paperwork and got tired of waiting and left. And then they got a letter in the mail a few days back later that they were positive when they were never tested. And these stories have been coming up all over the state, and DeSantis is looking into it. I just hope he has somebody looking into it that's not part of the testing organization.
That should be interesting to find out.
Well, at least he's on it. At least he's on it, and that's spectacular. Well, listen, we are all out of time, but we'll be back tomorrow at 6 a.m. And your studio will probably be done by the end of the week. So if you don't start broadcasting with the new studio this week, next week, I would say is a definite. So that's great. All right, Steve, you take care. We are all out of time. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. You're listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 6 a.m. Everyone, thanks for listening, and have a great day.
Hi, Brian Craig here. We've been telling you on the Steve Kane Show, for coronavirus testing, stop by any lab test now of Coral Springs and any lab test now of Boca. One of our longtime sponsors, Dr. Mitch Matez of the Boca Raton Center for Age Management, went to any lab test now of Boca for coronavirus testing this weekend. And he
I'm still here, guys.
On the radio to share his experience.
Listen, Brian, I have a great experience to tell you about. I went to any lab test now on Saturday to get COVID-19 tested. And it was awesome. We had a little experience where we had somebody in our close circle that tested positive after 10 days, by the way. Went and had a test. It took 10 days to get the results. We all went into a little bit of a panic, obviously. So we called up any lab test now. It was about maybe 11:30 in the morning on Saturday. They said, come on right on over. I was anonymous. I didn't announce myself. We went over there. We got there about noon. We checked in. 2 minutes later, they took us back, did our test. We sat in the waiting room for less than 15 minutes. They brought us back, gave us our results, which were negative, and we were on our way home. And a little shout out to Brittany, the nice young lady who did our test. It was completely painless. It was quick, it was simple, it was easy, and it gave you both the IgM and the IgG antibodies, which tells you if you have the infection now or if you've been exposed to it in the past.
Now, you went to any lab test now of Boca?
Boca Raton, yeah, in the Sandalfoot Plaza.
Awesome.
It was awesome. Well, it really was. It was cool. And it's easy, it's simple, and I'm telling you, that's the way to go. Forget the 10-day nonsense.
Doctor recommended. Can I say that in the commercial now? Doctor recommended. Any lab test now of Boca
There you
Raton.
go. Doctor recommended. Yeah, it was really kind of cool, and it was wonderful, and it was easy. And listen, to that end, go over and get tested. This is the test you want to get. It tells you.
95.3 FM, 96.9 FM, 103.9 FM, and AM 1470. WWNN Pompano Beach is the Florida Money Talk Network.
All right, guys, listen. If you're not subscribed, subscribe, all right? And click the notification bell, and I'll see y'all later, all right? Take care. Thanks for watching, guys.